You know it's this. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look up the better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the 11th part of What If Naruto Meets Flash? Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of pyrohelixdrago on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Later. So you're magenta? Naruto asked Frankie, who now had glowing magenta eyes. Yeah, magenta said to him simply. And you're a ferrokinetic? Naruto asked as she replied, making random metal things float in the room. Cool, I just have one more question, he asked her. What? Magenta asked him. How would you like to be adopted? Naruto asked her, seeing her tense up. I don't have a good history with those. If you've read my file, Magenta said as she saw it on the table. Wanna risk it and have me as a dad? Naruto said to her. Will you hurt me like the others? Frankie said as she was now in control again. Never, Naruto said, hugging her as she cried into him from joy. The hell I just walk in on, Cisco said. I just became a dad, dude, Naruto said to him. Are we making her a suit too? Cisco asked in excitement. Yes, but you're going to school, Naruto said to Frankie, as he wanted Frankie to have an education as she was still 15. So who's gonna be the mom? Bree asked as she saw the paperwork. I was gonna ask Caitlyn, considering they could relate to one another better, Naruto said, not wanting to show favoritism. Suddenly the lights began flickering. The hell? Naruto said. It's coming from the lab, Cisco said as he pulled up the lab's camera and saw the cocoon was drawing power into itself. Few minutes later. Caitlyn? Frost? Naruto asked, not knowing how to ask, as Caitlyn was on one side and Frost on the other. 1 hour later. This is crazy, we have both of them now and they still share the same powers, Cisco said as they learned Caitlyn had memories of both her Earth 1.5 and 2.5 lives as well as Frost, and both still had ice powers. So what do we do? Frost can't leave as she is, Naruto said as pure white hair couldn't be hidden. Check this out, Frost said as her hair turned navy blue. Well, that solves that. So who wants to be a mom? Naruto asked them as the two who once shared a body looked at one another. Dibs, they both said. Few hours later. I swear we need a legal team, Naruto said as it took a while to get the paperwork to make it so the two ice women were both mother of Frankie. You know you're a DLF now, right? Barry said with a laugh. I don't think that's a real word, dude, Naruto said. They were interrupted when a loud bang was heard and they were enveloped in a massive amount of bloodlust as they saw Kushina walk in looking very tired and very pissed. Where is my grandbaby? Kushina said very seriously. Lab, they both said as the woman basically vanished. And I thought we were fast, Barry said to him. Next day. You met me? Kendra asked him curiously. Yeah, and she gave me something for you, Naruto said as he went to find Kendra when he had a minute to ask her about how to kill Savage. What is it? Kendra asked him. This, Naruto said, presenting an orb to her. Bring out your wings, he said as she did as asked, and the metal orb seemingly melted and attached to her wings, making them a combination of gold and silver. Also this, he said, presenting a mace of the same metal. What is this stuff? Kendra asked him curiously as her wings felt very normal. Nth metal. Oh, and fun fact, this metal is impervious to magic, Naruto said as he thought it was a major upgrade. Kendra gave her wings a flap, shooting some of her metallic feathers like daggers that hit the wall and soon be replaced by new ones. Awesome, she said, actually wanting Savage to show. And this, it's a small nth metal meteorite. Other you said that when he's in contact with the meteor it will take away his immortality, letting others kill him, Naruto said, opening a box to show a small glowing blue meteorite. Still cool, Kendra said, wanting to test out her new wings and mace. Hello, Naruto said as he picked up a phone. What? He said in surprise as he ran. Starling City Graveyard. You okay? Naruto asked Sarah as he looked at an empty grave belonging to Laurel Lance. No, Sarah said as her emotions had yet to hit her. Who the F steals a body? Oliver asked in rage. I don't think they stole it, Naruto said as he saw some shredded up husk remains. What the hell is that? Diggle asked as Naruto took a closer look at the remains. It's similar to a husk we found. Apparently they are used to fuse a person from this earth to another, Naruto said to him. So what's that supposed to mean? Laurel's alive? Felicity asked. Kinda, she's in there and trust me, not easy to fuse. But with who? Oliver asked him. Did I forget to mention Earth 2.5 had a Laurel Lance? Naruto said to them, but she's alive and here, so I don't know which Laurel in the multiverse she's fused with, he said to them. Find out please before I start thinking of zombies, Dig said as he did not like that thought. Okay, hey Dig, how's the twins? Naruto asked him. Sarah and Diggle Jr. are alright, how's being a dad feeling so far? Dig asked him. Well, I think that when I actually have a kid, I may feel your pain, Naruto said as the two shared a laugh. You just adopted one, Felicity said as Naruto asked her for assistance. Not what I meant an actual infant. Naruto said. Oh God, a bunch of little yous running around? Oliver said before shivering at the thought. Yeah, Naruto said as he also found it kinda scary as he wondered what super speed or elemental powers they'd gain. So we all gotta find Laurel, Sarah said, wanting to find her sister. Can I talk to you in private? Oliver asked Naruto as the two stepped away. What's up? Naruto asked him curiously. How do I say this? I have a son, Oliver said to him. Why am I not surprised? Who's the mom? Naruto asked him. Samantha Clayton. Now what I'm asking you is, should I tell Felicity? I have this good thing going with her and I don't know how she'll react, Oliver said. Just be honest and tell her, don't hide it as it will only hurt her, Naruto said to him. Also here, he said as he showed him a picture of a bag with the team. Thanks, he's a fan, Oliver said as his son did grow up in Central City. Yeah, and dude, I don't know if you should have anything with this Samantha girl as she gives me the wrong kinds of vibes. I mean, sure, you should try and be in your son's life, but I don't know about her, Naruto said as he found it to be a major PP move to give Oliver all these conditions, but with Oliver's life it would be the right thing, but she didn't know about it. Why? Oliver asked him curiously, having no intention to leave Felicity but was curious how Naruto saw it. Cause I think it's F up she's doing this to you, Naruto said to him. I mean, I want to be in his life but I don't want him getting in the crossfire, Oliver said as he had to settle for that as he had way too many close calls, and even with Danton Black cells Naruto gave him he still had people who knew beyond a reason of a doubt he was the arrow. Look, just tell Felicity the truth, and do what you think is right, Naruto said to him as they parted to look for Laurel. Next day. You guys got raided how? Naruto asked Felicity curiously. That was my bad, Felicity said nervously. I never took Laurel's profile out the system, she said as she never saw the point. First her body and now her stuff and sonic device. Naruto said, oh, it's gonna be one of those weeks, he said, rubbing the back of his head. Ugh, I don't think she took her suit, Felicity said as the jacket was gone, but Laurel seemed to make some of her own gear and took some of her fishnet stockings. Well, hello, Naruto said as he saw Laurel in her new outfit, and her body seemed to have changed as well. She kept her leather jacket but now had a bikerish showgirl appearance. She also had an improvement in her feminine assets as she had E-cup melons, an athletic body, and a firm peach. Laurel or not Laurel? Felicity said as she can't believe she came back. Both she knew to come here, but fusing with a dead person and said dead person coming back ain't easy, Naruto said, speaking from experience. So what's your name if it isn't Laurel? He asked her. Dinah Lance, Laurel/Dinah said to them. Like I said, never easy, Naruto said to them. Laurel, you remember us? He asked her. Yes, Laurel said and then looked at Oliver. You, she said angrily. I'd run, dude. Looks like she remembered something unpleasant, Naruto said to Oliver. Of course. Oliver said as there was a lot of bad memories. And I thought having a Laurel from another Earth was going to become the new normal, Diggs said as he kinda remembered Laurel this angry. They were brought out of their thoughts as Laurel fired a loud scream. She's not wearing the necklace, Naruto said to them. OSHT she fused with a meta counterpart, he said surprising them. Laurel, Sarah said getting her sister's attention. So what do we do with her? Naruto asked them curiously as they came out with Laurel's identity, and even though she had a change in appearance a lot of people would put two and two together. Take her to Central City, you can help her with her powers, Oliver said as it'd be a little painful after Laurel's final confession for her to be here. Now Central City will have two black canaries, although one is called Black Siren, Naruto said wondering if they should just be called the Canary Sisters at this point. Also what about Lance, he asked curiously not wanting to deal with him. I don't know what to do about him, dude, Oliver said as when he learned Lance was working with the nutcase known as Damien Dark he honestly felt like he didn't know the man anymore. Feels like everything's going to hell, Naruto said as things are just getting crazier and crazier by the day. Welcome to our lives, want a drink? Roy asked as the bar was still up and running. I'm good, you two ready? Naruto asked the reunited sisters. Yeah, they said in unison as Naruto grabbed them and ran to Central City. Few days later. So these idiots finally showed, Naruto said over the comms with Kendra. Yeah, Kendra said as she mostly saw her two fellow immortals fight each other, Savage clearly winning. So what you wanna do? Naruto asked her as he just arrived as these guys were just idiots. Well, we should really get rid of Savage for one, Kendra said as that was definitely a must as he'd try and kill her. And your former soulmate? Naruto asked her. Leave him be, if he pesters us I'm sure we can find some creative ways to show him I'm yours, and worst comes to worst we kill him or lock him up, Kendra said. Personally I'd rather just kill them both. Saves us two headaches, Naruto said as they reincarnated and one was as worse as Roz while the other a creepy persistent stalker. True, Kendra said to him, but she slightly got off on the idea of doing certain things with Naruto in front of him, wanting to see that destroyed look on his face seeing Naruto plow into her. You are a very dirty bird, Naruto said as he could guess what was running through her head. Well, I'm your dirty bird, Kendra said to him. Now let's go kill this prick, Kendra said unfurling her nth metal wings. Few minutes later. Well, Carter's in the hospital, Naruto said to her as he got the man's current name. Well, that buys me some time, Kendra said as she didn't want to deal with her former lover. Later that day. Hi, Naruto said as he saw Black Siren Laurel, Earth 1 Laurel who got a new identity as Dinah Lance, and Sarah having a THRSM as both women currently punishing Sarah as it seemed. Hey Cece, we were just discipling our salty little sister, Dinah said to him as she was punishing Sarah, teasing her very much. Yeah, the spit roast made that pretty clear, Naruto said as the two had strap-ons, modeled after his PP, and Sarah was in between them in a spit roast. Well, she did tell us she was yours, you want a piece handsome, Laurel asked him teasingly and was surprised that he ripped the strap-on off and plunged into her PP. Ah, if you're bigger than the other you, she said loudly. Really wished I got a piece of you, Dinah said as she now really hated herself for not getting it on with Naruto earlier before she died. Sarah was very wet seeing Naruto just take Laurel as it was a really big turn on for her before as Dinah started thrusting in her peach again. She may be going first, but that doesn't mean I won't get some fun out of you sis, Dinah said to her before she began GRPNG Sarah's tips. Then let go and really have some fun with me, Sarah said as she looked back at her sister who pulled out of her making her whine. Eat me out USLT, Dinah said as she sat on her sister's face before she began eating Sarah out. So how is it Laurel? Naruto asked her curiously as he had to restrain her with his hand. Amazing, Laurel said as she ran to restrain a as she was very loud and didn't want to unleash an accidental sonic scream. Here, Dinah said tossing him a BLLGG for her mouth. I came prepared, she said with a grin as Naruto put it on Laurel who got more wet than she was before. You must like this, you just got a lot tighter, Naruto said as her less than usual loud screams and how tight she was said a lot. Not only is he bigger but he's a better F-er. Laurel thought in bliss feeling him stretch her out greater than her Earth's Naruto could. Jesus, I missed out, Dinah thought as she was glad she got this second chance to right her mistake. Dinah into Sarah's PP louder as Sarah began fingering her peach before she began doing the same to Sarah. Laurel loudly, which was muffled by the GG as she climaxed all over Naruto's PP. He's so good and he hasn't leaked yet, she thought, very pleased and displeased by that thought as it meant he could go long, but it also meant she hadn't pleasured him enough yet. Naruto grunted as he leaked inside of Laurel's WMB, making her scream in bliss into the GG as she felt him flood her WMB. Laurel laid her head down as some drool came from the corners of the GG as she panted, trying to catch her breath. I want more, she thought lustfully, her thoughts succumbing to lust. Sarah and Dinah both into the other's PP as the two climaxed at the same time. So who wants next? I think Laurel here can wait, Naruto said teasingly as he heard Laurel's displeasure of protest. Me, Dinah said before Sarah. Sarah whined that she didn't get to go first before she went over to Laurel and began eating her out, cleaning her out of Naruto's juices. You know what you look like in your new outfit, right? Naruto asked her as he kissed her neck. Oh, tell me, Dinah said, wanting to hear it from him. A biker mixed with STRPR, Naruto said, rubbing her fishnet-covered legs. This bird would STRP for you anytime, Dinah said to him, licking her lips. Why not lock me in a cage as I STRP for you and maybe sing a little, make me your little songbird, she said, turning herself and him on as the idea was very tempting to both of them. I wonder what I'd do to make you sing the high notes, Naruto said. Sweetie, if any of us sung the high notes we'd all be hearing nothing, Dinah said, not sure if it was worth earth-shattering SEC. Sarah doesn't have a sonic scream, sure she's loud but not as loud as you and her can be, Naruto said. If she's a canary then maybe you could do something about that, as all she's missing is that scream and she'd be set, Dinah said, thinking it'd be hot and make Sarah safer. I think I could WHP up something, so any preferred hole you want me to start with? Naruto asked her as he pinched her tips. Well, how about my mouth? Don't want to stop the show too early, Dinah said as she wanted to feel her throat stretched out. Okay, then maybe we can see if those sonic screams can work in SEC, Naruto said as he began kissing her neck before she got on her knees before his PP. Oh baby, no man has ever stayed standing after my sonic hummer, Dinah said as she decided to give that little trick a name, as in her other life she had many boyfriends but they all sucked as were nothing in bed, unlike the godly man before her. Then try it and I'll prove you wrong, Naruto said as that sounded like a challenge and proving people wrong and rising to the challenge was his specialty. Dinah smirked as she took his PP into her mouth and began using her powers as she blew, Naruto humming as she did so. DMN, this is good, let's see how she likes it when I do this, Naruto thought as he vibrates his member, equaling out the playing field. Dinah as she began fingering herself as his vibrating was turning her on like crazy. Looks like I'm not the only one with special tricks, she thought, very excited at the prospect, as not only could he handle her and her powers but he had a few surprises of his own. Naruto grabbed her head, making her take the rest of his PP down her throat, turning her on even more. I swear he was made for ruining and pleasing women like no other, Dinah thought to herself as SEC was something else with him and it never stopped getting better, and he seemed to get that much more better with every act. Naruto grunted as he leaked down her throat. I feel it, oh god, I feel it, his juices is like heavy cream, Dinah thought as Naruto poured his juices into her stomach, which quickly felt full. So I'm still standing and raring to go, Naruto said with a grin as he pulled out her mouth. Dinah tore open her fishnets, revealing her holes as she got on her hands and knees, shaking her peach at him. Come on, she thought to herself, as both her lives have done many things sexually. Naruto got behind her and began rubbing himself against her peach, sandwiching his PP with her peach cheeks as he groped them, and peach like this was made to be he said, playing with it, teasing her as much as possible. Yeah, by you, Dinah said as Naruto was pressing all the right buttons, and buttons she never knew she had that could be pushed. Peach or PP, pretty bird? Naruto asked her. Both, either pick one and F the SHT out of it, Dinah said to him. Okay, Naruto said as he shoved himself into her peach, then into her PP, using his super speed to F both simultaneously. F, my holes are never gonna be the same, Dinah thought, her body not able to process his speed. Her pleasure was literally in overdrive. Should probably muffle you, Don't want any broken windows, Naruto said as his windows were very expensive as were some of the other stuff in the house. Sarah tossed him the BLLGG he put on Laurel before he put it on Dinah. Being his pet little songbird sounds amazing, Dinah thought as she listened to his earlier conversation with Laurel. Naruto smirked as he began vibrating again, making Dinah CLMX and scream into the BLLGG as he kept her. Sarah was soaked as she watched as after their fuckathon with Thea and Nissa she was never the same after that, as all she could ever think about was how he totally destroyed her mind and her body. Dinah didn't know how many more times she could CLMX before she blacked out, but she was intending on riding this very SXL and pleasured high to its peak. Naruto shouted as he leaked inside of both of her holes before spraying her body in his juices. Sarah jumped at the opportunity and started eating her sister's body. You have no idea how many times I thought about doing this, she said, as when she was younger and still discovering her sexuality she often saw Oliver and Laurel going at it and sometimes became very turned on seeing Laurel getting F. Naruto thrust it into Sarah, giving her the same treatment as he did Dinah, making her into Dinah, both in joy and bliss at the feeling of him inside her holes again. I swear if I didn't have SEC with the other girls in the HRM I'd be F straight, Sarah thought to herself. Did you know Will is the MSTRS of the HRM? Having so many girls to dominate makes her very happy, and when she's happy I'm happy, Naruto said into Sarah's ear. Yeah, she demonstrated that very clearly, Sarah thought, remembering when Will showed up to put her in her place as she did with every girl Naruto brought into his HRM, so show she was their alpha. Sarah louder as Naruto began grpng her melons, pinching her tips as roughly as he could, making her wish he was like that for the rest of her body as she thrived on pain. Naruto shouted as he leaked inside of her oles before covering her body in his juices. Well, I'm not deaf, he thought, considering that a big win. After the two helped clean Sarah they laid around Naruto as they all went to sleep. Few months later. What the F happened? Naruto asked John and Lila. How did you catch him? Why, a better question, he asked them curiously. We didn't, Argus just snatched him up after your guy knocked him out, John said to him. Waller's dead and I'm gonna assume I don't know, harvested his DNA and tried to either clone replicate this on a little team of Aqua Metas or make her own little soldiers, Naruto asked her. Actually she just tried to see if the prospect of the metas could be replicate or weaponized, Lila said to him. Same thing I said basically, Naruto said to her. And there are others, apparently she made a little alliance with, get this, General Eiling, Diggs said as Naruto grabbed him by the throat. Are you telling me Amanda B. Waller from Hell and Psycho Narcissist Wade DMN Eiling were working together? Naruto said, very pissed. Let him go, so he can talk, Lila said as her men raised their guns and she did not like their odds. Sorry man, Naruto said as he calmed down. Yeah, I know that Eiling did you wrong, Diggs said as being with Oliver for so long made him a bit tactless. Can you find them all? Know where they're being held or being experimented on? Naruto asked them. We're gonna try, Lila said as Waller had many off-the-book sites. What are you gonna do to King Shark when you find him? Kill him? Dig asked curiously. I made a serum for metas like him. Let him choose to be how he is now or actually regain his humanity and maybe have a chance with the counterpart of his wife, Naruto said. Oh, also we got a tip, it appears Amanda was working with Luther, Lila said. Which one? The douchebags or the nice one? Naruto said as there were 3 in total, but he had been working with the sister of Lex as she was apparently the apple that fell far from the corrupted and F-up tree. Deech, Lila and Dig said together. Which Deech? Naruto asked them. No clue, just says Luther, Lila said as Waller was intentionally vague. Not good one, smart, the other is conniving, Naruto said as they were somehow worse than the other in certain situations. Probably Lex, as he's, well Lex, Dig said as the Man of Steel dealt with the man as often as one dealt with sneezing. Maybe, Naruto thought to himself as Lex was usually heavily monitored. We also got the name of some corporation, Cadmas, have you ever heard of it? Lila asked him. Yeah, not good, they are a part of Argus but not in the way you think, it's sorta like a splinter cell. Waller probably has had agents reporting to Cadmas as a fallback if SHT hit the fan with Argus, Naruto said as Waller worked best from the shadows. Then I guess we found out which Luther, Mama Luther, Diggs said as Lex was still in prison so that all that left was Lillian Luther. You sure? Naruto asked him wanting to be sure. One's in prison and the other would never do this SHT making her the only other Luther available, Diggs said to him. I swear besides Lena that family needs to be culled, Naruto said to them. Yeah, you go handle your shark we'll handle finding the people, Lila said as she was still cleaning up Waller's messes. Few days later. How's Zoom doing? Naruto asked Reverb as he checked on his Earth regularly. Sickly, whatever you shot him with did boost him but it's like the guy is now getting a bit slower and a whole lot weaker, Reverb said as the man was making all types of cures for himself to try and slow it down. And the meta's over there? Naruto asked him. After you beat the SHT out of him there's less of his followers than before and that video you made didn't do him any favors, Reverb said to him. Good and because of the virus/drag we injected him with, not even taking another Speedster's speed is gonna save him, Naruto said very pleased. How's Harry, I mean Nash, Reverb asked as Naruto faked some records saying Harrison Wells' mother had triplets so that Harry and in case of an emergency another Wells would be fine and not arrested. Good and so is Jessie as Harry isn't letting her out of his sight, Naruto said as he understood the dad thing now as he spent a lot of time with Frankie. That must SCK for her, Reverb said. Not only that but rumors are going around about a female speedster something Cisco is enjoying as it took 2 years to happen and we finally got one, Naruto said as Barry soon walked in. What is it? He asked him. Joe's house was attacked by King Shark and we're having trouble hiding it from Wally, Barry said as he was finally starting to have a good relationship but his double life prevented it from going further. Guess we underestimated how much Shark he was. Barry, you know I go straight to the truth as that stops everything as lying just hurts people, Naruto said to him. But Joe doesn't want him getting hurt, he doesn't want him in this life, Barry said. And look what happened with Iris, Naruto said to him plainly. Listen dude, I deal with one pain in the Peach West, if you give me a second one no SHT I might actually kill you, Naruto said. Fine, I'll tell him but it's your fault if Joe gets pissed, Barry said as he walked away. I can handle Joe, tell the old man to bring it on, Naruto said not afraid of Joe. Well I'm going, good luck with everything, Reverb said as he didn't think this would go well. Few days later. So we have to deal with a man shark and we have his other world wife who is a killer whale lady to help us. We'll ask Naruto. She goes by Orca but yeah, and a meta I met who goes by the name Dolphin, Naruto said. Please tell me she's not a lady dolphin as these man-animal metas are getting annoying, Cisco said. Nope, she's sorta what you would think of a Atlantean, sorta, Naruto said as he had to agree. We need a bigger building, geez, Barry said as with everyone and with more all the time STR Labs was beginning to feel smaller and smaller. Have that handled actually some of us are moving out, Naruto said surprising them all. Oh don't give me that look, I have Karen setting up a new STR Labs tower, he said calming them down. Oh I was about to say, Cisco said in relief. Man, you give a guy a heart attack, Barry said as this place was like a second home. Yeah you all have ridiculous paychecks, Naruto said as they all got paid even Barry who didn't even work here. He's got a point, so who's moving out to this tower? I mean it'd be good to get the more noisy metas out, no offense I'm included, Hartley said looking at the Canaries. Well I don't want to break up the originals, Barry said looking at Cisco and Caitlin. Yeah no they actually do work here, they are good, Naruto said as they needed more staff and not all their work could be hidden that well without revealing their secrets. Well if you're staying I'm staying, Will said firmly. Okay we'll work this out later, first me and Karen have to build it and even though we move fast cement and paint doesn't, Naruto said as it would take them a month. And I think I know how we can bring King Shark to us, Bree said as she hacked his wife's notes. Skills of a hacker, Hartley said impressed as Bree was a skilled hacker. And you didn't happen to ask Tanya, who must be the world's marine biologist and everything ocean related? Seriously she'll tell you everything about anything down in the ocean, Naruto said to them as it was crazy all the facts she knew and he wished he brought a pen and paper. Didn't have time. You know how sharks track their prey, passive electrolocation right? Bree asked everyone. It's how they sense the bioelectrical potential around a fish's body, Naruto said, as it was an impressive ability and probably why certain animals like jellyfish and eels had high electrical currents. Which is how he tracked Barry to his home, as he sensed the electricity in his body, Caitlin said as she knew the process. I see where you're going, we use active electrolocation to track him, Naruto said to them. We reprogram the satellite to generate a specific electric field and then measure any electrical distortions that correlate with a 1-ton walking shark, Cisco said. Will that work? I mean, real electricity and bioelectricity are two different things, and this guy was human, so he might be able to tell the difference, Naruto said, as real and synthetic were never truly the same. Better than nothing, dude, unless you got something better, Cisco said. Harry, how much of Zoom's lightning did you harvest? Naruto asked him. A lot. Why? Harry said as he killed enough clones and wondered why Zoom never wised up to that ploy. Well, speed force energy is distinctive, so if we load a vial into a dummy, king shark might fall for it, Naruto said. So you want to fool him into thinking he's meeting Zoom? And what about this orca, who's his counterpart's wife, and this dolphin lady? Barry asked him. I have the same thing that I gave to Tanya and Kirk to let them change between their forms. It'll do the same to him. Let him change from human to shark, but let him be in control, they'll act as backup, Naruto said. Better than nothing, let's do it, Will said, as that was as good a plan as any. Few hours later. So you're dolphin? Barry asked as he saw a white-haired woman with webbed hands and fish-scaled covered arms and legs, that had DD cup melons, a fit and curvy body and a bubbly peach. Yep, Dolphin said to him simply. Are you sure you can do this, Tanya? He may be from another Earth and a shark, but he's still your husband's doppelganger, Naruto asked her. I couldn't save my husband, I can save him, and I'm not losing him like I lost my son, Tanya said as after the accelerator explosion her son, Jeremy, disappeared. I swear every time I hear disappear I think something else entirely, Naruto thought to himself. The big kahuna's coming. Cisco said as he was monitoring the satellites, as they also had cameras around the dummy. Zoom, a loud voice was heard under the water. Wait for him to get close, we're only gonna have one shot, Naruto said to the others under his breath. King Shark came out of the water and looked at the dummy before blinking and tearing it apart. Didn't see that coming, Barry said. Some people prefer vengeance to clarity or freedom, Naruto said, as sometimes negativity consumed a person's soul. Orca came down from one of the buildings and shoved the enzyme down his throat, making him choke before he fell to his knees as he began changing back to human before falling unconscious. Well, that's one way to make him take it, Will said. The chemicals in that thing should help him control his shark state. He's good now, Naruto said as he made it that way. Tanya changed back and rubbed her hand through her husband's counterpart's hair. Get him back to STR Labs, Naruto said as they needed to run tests to make sure Shay was okay. Few hours later. Shay Lambden gasped as he shot up and looked at all the tubes going into him. Whoa, 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 easy buddy, you're okay, Naruto said to him as he needed a lot of nutrients. Where am I? Shay asked. Another Earth, Naruto said as he was helping him remember. Hard to think, Shay said holding his head. Being a man-shark for like 2 or more years will do that, Naruto said with a slight chuckle. Shay, Tanya said coming into the room. Tanya. You're alive. Shay said. Guess we both lost somebody, Tanya said to him walking over to him and holding his hand. I'm going to leave you two alone, Naruto said as he exited the room to let them be and to let them talk. With the others. First a telepathic gorilla, then that man-bat, now a she-orca and a man-shark. Our lives are all kinds of weird, Barry said with a laugh. So what happens now, Harry asked Naruto. That's up for him to decide, Naruto said. Few days later at the harbor. I thought you said Naruto caught King Shark, Dig asked, seeing a massacre of what he hopped was just fish. He did. Seems whoever did this was just after fish, as no human BLD. So far, Lila said to him. Okay, definitely not King Shark, we'd have found a half-eaten body by now, Dig said, not wanting to see that. So what are you saying, there's another man-shark out there? Lila said as she knew there was a similar case in Gotham with two villains named Killer Croc and Killer Shark. Bites on these things don't match Kings or Crocs or any of the more beast metas. We may be dealing with another 1-inch dig said. And he's here in Central City, Lila said as after this harbor was the bay in Central City as they saw large holes on the ground. Gives new meaning to land shark, Dig said as he wondered which city was deadlier at this point. Hammerhead, a girl saying coming to them. Excuse me? Dig asked her. He looked like a hammerhead-like man thing, he saved me when some of the workers around here tried grabbing me. He beat them up and left them for the cops before eating the fish, the girl said before she left. Naruto's luck must be rubbing off on us as we're never that lucky, Lila said with a chuckle. Yeah, Dig said as he lost a lot of money to Naruto playing cards. Few hours later. Now that we've handled King Shark, let's find our Lady Speedster. What do you guys have? Naruto asked Team Tech. Not much, she's been speeding around stopping robbers, saving people, but nobody's managed to get a good look at her, Cisco said. What I'm curious about is how she has her speed, Naruto said as he would have felt a breach. Yeah, as without a accelerator blast how else can someone become a speedster, Caitlin asked curiously. Did you ask for any outside help when you were making the V? Naruto asked Harry and Caitlin. No, but she did, Harry said as he looked at Caitlin as she did most of the work on it as he made a basic prototype to work off of. But that's impossible, I never gave her the whole formula, Caitlin said pulling up the file of a Mercury Labs scientist Eliza Harmon. Okay, let me dash, Naruto was saying till he came back with said scientist, get her, he said as the scientist panicked slightly. DMN, that was fast even for you, Cisco said as that was like a second. Me and Barry are clocking our speed, pushing our limits every day, never know, Naruto said as he had been mostly training Barry was. Eliza, calm down, Caitlin said to the scientist. Eliza was saying before she held her stomach as some lightning danced around her. Okay, hold on, we need to fix this, Naruto said looking at Harry. Are you sure? Harry said as giving someone Zoom's lightning seemed very wrong. It's either that or let her die as obviously she didn't overlook the molecular destabilization, Naruto said to him, it may heal her as well since Zoom's lightning was built around that it may cure the adverse effects, he said hoping this'd cure her damage. Alright fine, get her on the table, Harry said as he prepared his injector device. Next day. How is this fair, Barry said as Eliza was clocking 2,000 miles per hour. The speed from Zoom reverted to its original speed level, Naruto said to him glad she was healing alright. Still unfair man, we worked our asses, Barry said to him as he was clocking 7,000 miles per hour. So you're mad that she— No, I'm just voicing my opinion, Naruto was saying till Barry interrupted him. So wanna introduce Wally to the team, everyone seems to like him, Naruto said as no one minded the youngest male West. Yeah, as his technical skills shown with that car project he made to get in got CCU's engineering program was genius, Barry said still amazed by Wally's genius. Yeah, seriously though Iris, hell no man, Naruto said as he was seriously tempted to get drones to tase her. I know, though you got to admire her creativity on getting past the security for the doors, Barry said to him. True, Naruto said as it actually gave him more ways to prevent her from entering. Yeah, I mean if you can create a system to keep her out you can keep anyone out, Barry said. That is true too, Naruto said to him. But yeah, I do plan on telling Wally, Barry said as he wanted to tell his brother. Fantastic, Naruto said to him. Few days later. Whoa man, this is legit, Wally said geeking out from what he was seeing. Wait until you see our vehicles in the garage, Naruto said to him wanting to blow his mind. Yeah, they're like made for their specific person, Barry said to him as he geeked out when he got to look at them the first time. Oh, I am going to love it here, Wally said. Come on, let's show him the speed lab, Barry said. You have a speed lab? Wally asked them. Yeah, it just used to be 2 treadmills, Naruto said as that was still the best upside to Flashpoint. Oh, Wally said as that sounded lame. Few minutes later. Oh, that is so cool, it's like watching a lightning bolt make rings, Wally said as he watched Barry and Naruto race in the lab. not to race but just to show off the lab. Right, Naruto said to him. I wish I was a speedster, because that has to be like the coolest feeling ever, Wally said. Naruto froze at that moment as he remembered when they were in Flashpoint and he and Barry saw two speedsters and saw Wally match the description perfectly. As much as I'd love speeding with my other brother, Joe wouldn't let you put one step out the door, Barry said to him. True, Wally said as Joe was kinda overprotective and even though he was touched he was still a man. Yeah, so let's dash, Naruto was saying before he got an alert on his phone. Cisco's meta app really keeps us busy, what's it this time? Barry asked him. Apparently someone with super strength and he took Harry, Naruto said to him as Harry was trying to cement himself as Nash. I got it, I need the workout, Barry said to him taking off. Now for the question that's been burning on my mind, Naruto thought to himself as he went to Mercury Labs. Few minutes later. Hi Henry, Naruto said as he saw he was leaving with Christina. Naruto, always a pleasure, heard you stole one of my scientists, Christina said jokingly. Yeah, hey Henry, can I ask you something, Naruto said as he made him and Christina curious. About what, Henry asked him. Can we have some privacy, Dr. McGee, Naruto asked her as she went to her car. Me and Barry went to another Earth and funny thing turns out Barry had a twin there. I never saw him and I find it strange that he had a twin there but not here, he said as the death of doppelgangers seemed random but it seemed strange that Barry's twin was there and alive but not on this Earth. Nora and I were expecting twins but one was born premature and died during BRTH, Henry said as it was a secret he kept from Barry for years. Something's not adding up here. Time travel, yes, madman, yes, but this. Something happened the night Barry was born, Naruto thought, thinking he stumbled into something huge. Are you sure that's what really happened? He asked him as he needed to be sure of something as this wasn't adding up. Why is this so important? Henry asked curiously. Because something is not adding up, Naruto said to him. Gion Bard killed your wife so it explains why she's dead here and not there, but your son somehow died here but his double lived. Doesn't make sense to me, he said to him, thinking something had to cause the change or something different happened that night. Well, unless you want to go back to that night they were born, then that's all I got to tell you, Henry said, not wanting to talk about that night any longer. I may just do that as I need answers before something comes at us, Naruto said as he was gonna get Reverb to help. Later at STR Labs. This is gonna be very weird, Barry said as this seemed very weird but he wanted to find out what happened to his brother. Listen, be careful not to get sucked in the farther in time I take you it'll be that much more harder, Reverb said to him. Trust me, after seeing all the screw-ups E1 me did I'm not F with time anymore, Barry said as he was glad this was an option. Let's go, Naruto said as Reverb took their hands. This is gonna dash, Naruto was saying till they found themselves in a hospital, SCK, he said to him a little disoriented. Ugh, now I know how Dig feels when I speed travel him, Barry said. The F are we, Naruto asked him. Iowa, Barry said, knowing the place of his BRTH at least. Is that doctor drunk? Naruto asked, seeing a doctor send a nurse home. Gilmore, Barry said as that was the name of the doctor that brought him into the world. Guys, found a Thawne, Reverb said as he was brought along. What, Barry said as he saw the patient's name was Charlene Thawne. God, what the hell are the DMN odds, he said as he literally wondered what the odds were. Look at her baby, it got strangled in the umbilical cord because the guy's too drunk, Naruto said as the woman was too exhausted and looked ready to pass out from BRTH to notice. Wait, if her baby is dead then how's there a... Barry was saying before he saw the doctor taking the dead infant and went to his mother's room, not seeing his father as it was stormy outside as his mom and dad told him he was late because of the stormy weather. No, Barry said repeatedly. SHT, I need to fix this, the doctor said as he looked at the two infants. No. Barry said in a low tone as the man picked up his infant brother. No, he said, screaming loudly. The baby she had was your brother. He gave your brother to her, Naruto said as he then realized something. Barry, if that baby is a Thawne then it might be Eddie, he said to him as he knew the chances were huge as when Eddie was alive he told him there were family reunions. Barry dropped to his knees as he seemed to go into a state of shock. Reverb, take us back now, Naruto said in urgency. Reverb did as he was told and brought them back. Barry began hyperventilating. "HEW was mi dash," he was saying till Naruto pulled him into a hug. "Whoa, whoa, easy bar, I got you," Naruto said as he felt Barry's tears on his shoulder. "I'll ask Caitlin to look into that, doctor," Reverb said as it was sick what the man had done. It could have been me," Barry said, crying his eyes out. Naruto hugged him tighter as he understood Barry must have felt violated on so many levels. The next day. "How's Barry?" Cisco asked him. "Pretty shook up, but he'll heal," Naruto said as he had similar trauma, but he felt Barry's was kinda more up. "And after all that time finally letting go of so much pain, finally getting faster, this comes along," Cisco said to him. "There's only one person who can help him," Naruto said, using person loosely. "Who, his dad?" Cisco asked him. "OSHT, I forgot about him," Naruto said, not knowing how that'd go as he tested Eddie's BLD and it matched Barry's, confirming Eddie was his twin. "Then if it's not him, then who?" Cisco asked him. "The Speed Force," Naruto told him. "And how is he supposed to go there? He can't meditate and send his mind there like you can," Cisco said as Naruto had some inner peace type deal and Barry had tried but had zero luck. "There are ways to get there," Naruto said as science opened a few windows. Few hours later. "Why are you doing this?" Joe asked as he saw the look on Barry's face and wondered what happened to him. "I just have to," Barry said to him. "What happened?" Iris asked as Naruto actually brought her here. "Hey, apparently Eddie was Barry's lost twin brother," Naruto said to them as he saw Barry struggle. "What, how's that possible?" Iris asked, wondering how that was even possible. "Drunk doctor couldn't save the Thon's kid, so he gave her Eddie," Naruto said as that was the difference between this earth and the other. "Oh God," Joe said as he felt like he needed to sit down. "That's why Barry is going into the Speed Force, as he needs to put all of this behind him, and that's the only place to do so," Harry said as Naruto gave him some indefinite personal experience about what happened in the forces. "OSHT," Naruto said, "I forgot I let Patty come," he said as she quickly and fastly graduated from college as he brought her there and back so she could keep her job. "Oh please, she's safe," Harry said as Jessie was here. "What did you do?" Naruto asked him. "She's with Jessie and Wally in the time vault," Harry said with a smile as he locked them inside. "Let's go," Naruto said as he'd deal with Harry in a minute as he and Barry ran around the ring. Suddenly beeping was heard. "That's never a good sign," Joe said to the others. "Ugh, what's with that breach?" Cisco asked Reverb as lightning was coming off it. "Please tell me we're not having another black hole incident," Frost said as she didn't want that. "Neither," a familiar demonic voice said, coming out the breach, and soon Zoom came out. "Naruto, Barry, don't stop," Harry said as the breach Zoom came out was unstable. Zoom took a step towards them before holding his chest. "How's he not dead?" Joe said as he was informed Zoom was poisoned. "He's taking crazy amounts of DRGS to stay alive," Cisco said as that was what Reverb said to him. "Velocity used to be the thing that was killing me, now it's the only thing keeping me alive," Zoom said to them. "Where'd he go?" Joe asked as another alarm went off. "OSHT," the people who knew science said as they recognized that sound. "In 10 seconds the particle will be launched, giving me a boost in speed, keeping me alive longer," Zoom said, laughing maniacally. "I reconfigured it to contain the blast so it won't go out," Harry said as he got to the console in time. "Barry, one of us needs to go," Naruto said as one of them needed to stabilize the portal and Barry needed to go to the Speed Force. "With Wally." "This way," Wally said as he recognized the noise as he went with Patty and Jessie, and as they ran an explosion happened hitting the three. Wally and Jessie seemed to have yellow lightning spark off them while Patty had white. "With Naruto." "You're dead, you son of a b," Naruto said to Zoom as he heard Barry screamed as he went through the portal, but was glad he made it through okay as he could feel he was in the Speed Force. "You'll have to catch me first," Zoom said as he ran away. He's not worth it," Naruto thought as he froze as he felt new Speedster signatures, and when he went to the hallway he saw an unconscious Patty, Jesse, and Wally. Harry went to Jesse as Iris and Joe went to Wally. Okay, time to wake their asses, Naruto thought, as Speedsters needed a person they had a strong connection to bring them back. Naruto walked over to the three and small bolts of lightning went from his body to them as he touched them, making them shoot up. Whoa, this is a new kind of hangover, Wally said, blinking his eyes as he got up as he shook his head. Better not tell them about their powers, Naruto thought, as their speed was tapped into instinctually, and he figured at least Jesse or Patty could figure it out, whereas Wally may take a while, seeing as how he was a speed addict. He may take a while to truly tap into his speed. Be well, Barry, he thought to himself, worrying about his friend, knowing he was safe but hoped he healed after this. Listen, we gotta kill Zoom, Thea said as she had enough of that man with his psycho mind. We need to kill him, Rupture said as he wanted Zoom dead. I keep forgetting this guy talks, Frost said as even her Earth 2 self could never understand this guy. I'll back you up, brother, Reverb said to him as he looked at Cisco. You take him on and he'll kill you both, Cisco said, stating a fact. At least we'll go out like heroes, Reverb said to him as they had accepted this fate together as they had each other's backs. We'll at least buy you all some time, Rupture said to them as they couldn't kill Zoom, they could at least distract him. You can't, Cisco said. I once thought of being a hero, but when my friend died, that died too. At least this way I can be remembered as something good, Reverb said as he approached Cisco. Here, he said as he touched his hand and they both glowed. Whoa, what's that? Cisco said as he pulled away, feeling tingly. Nothing here, give this to Dante, Rupture said, handing him a piece of his scythe. Why? Cisco asked curiously. It'll awaken the powers the accelerator granted him. At least this Earth will now have two badass Ramones with powers, Rupture said as this Cisco and Dante seemed to be late bloomers. Everything I know how to do, now you do, Reverb said as he opened a breach. Goodbye, the Earth 2.5 Ramone brothers said as they went through it. We need to prepare. Zoom is even crazier on all his DRGS, Naruto said to them. And now that he's here he may bring his metas over to help him take the city, Cisco said to him. Reverb can prevent him, so can you, Naruto said as Zoom could run at the desired speed. And with the other world girls in their respected cities, all we have is each other, Caitlin said looking at the team. That's all we need. Because together Zoom can't beat us, Naruto said as he believed in this team fully. Let's see, we have us, a telepathic gorilla, a bunch of archers. I don't need to go on as I already like our odds, Cisco said, liking their odds. Yeah, and not just our friends, we have more than enough heroes, but this, our stand will finally ignite the spark we started and show this world and Zoom what heroes can do. Naruto said. You got a plan or just great speeches? Harry asked him as he was a little more concerned for their well-being with an even more crazed Zoom. Yeah, but first we need to get Barry out of the Speed Force because he'll want to be here as we kick Zoom's butt, Naruto said as they needed to wait a while, and he froze when he saw Frankie come in covered in BLD. Frankie, are you okay? He asked, seeing she had 0 wounds. Frankie couldn't speak as she looked like all the color was gone from her face. Hey, we got you. Caitlin and Frost said as they hugged her as Frost got up and went with Naruto outside to see a dead Girder aka Tony Woodward still moving despite being split in half. The energy Barry had when the dark matter wave must have been strong enough to bring him back somehow, Naruto said to Frost. Is he down? Wally asked, poking his head from a corner, as did Patty and Jesse. A little girl took him down and you pansies ran. Wow, Frost said to them. Hey, we don't have powers and that thing destroyed the door, so we're a little grateful she saved us, Jesse said in relief. Don't have powers yet, Naruto thought as he couldn't blame them for that. Ugh, he's still moving, Patty said in fear and disgust. Hold on, Naruto said as he vibrated his hand, absorbing the power in him and shredded his brain, fully killing him. I swear I've had my fill of zombies, he said as he dealt with enough in his world. Now let's go calm down our daughter. She just tore a zombie in half and got BLD everywhere, Frost said as she knew she was more suited to torture what might have made her daughter scared, while Caitlin was more suited to comfort her. Few hours later. We see Caitlin comforting Frankie as she held her as they laid in a bed. No girl should ever have to do that, Naruto said, very proud of her and very sad that she had to experience that. She's our kid, She'll move past this, Frost said as she was certain of that and then realized something. Wait, if Tony is alive dash, she was saying as they heard a loud scream and the lights to the lab had dimmed. Not blackout, Naruto said as the man was an electrical vampire now he was part zombie made it somewhat worse in their minds. Well, you can't take him as we don't know what his limits are as last time he died trying to siphon Barry's lightning, Caitlin said not knowing what to expect to happen since he was already dead. Can't we just drain him of the energy he was exposed to? Naruto asked them. Might be hard since he's absorbing energy as it is, Cisco said as it was never easy to siphon a siphoner. There's got to be something we can do as I don't want to deal with this jackass again, Frost said as the first time was enough. I mean, can we just kill him again or is he mega zombie where everything still goes when you cut them off, Cisco asked. Tony still moved but didn't have his whole head ripped off, Naruto said to them. F it, Caitlin said as she was very angry. He's toast, was the reply of the three there. Few minutes later. Hey spark plug. Cisco said as he got the attention of Zombie Blackout. The zombie turned to him but was struck by 2 cold blasts until he shattered into pieces. And that's the end of that, Caitlin said going back to Frankie. And I thought I was the cold one, Frost said as she got a thumbs down from Cisco and a so-so from Naruto. Now back to our Barry problem, Naruto said as he could feel Barry's struggle in the speed force as even though it was infinite finding the sadness Barry was feeling in the positive place was easy. What are you going to do? Because I don't think you're little. Mind trip is gonna work this time. Cisco said. Well, I'm fast enough to jump into it directly, Naruto said as he and Barry were well past the speed of making and jumping into breaches. Well go, we can handle things while you're in there, Cisco said as they had a speedster and even though the Ramones of Earth 2.5 died they wounded Zoom. Okay, Naruto said as he ran off. Speed Force. I always find it weird you all use people we know, Naruto said as he looked at the Speed Force using the body of Nora Allen. A white streak zipped past him. Hey, save, Naruto said with a small smile as he knew that was him. Save? Barry asked curiously as he didn't see no one else here. Long story dude, just forget about it, Naruto said as he knew they'd deal with Savatar later but he just wanted to focus on Zoom right now. How you feel man, he asked wondering how Barry was. I guess you could say, sorta at peace. I guess, I feel better than before I came in here, Barry said as he felt a roller coaster of emotions. That's good now let's go we have a city to save, Naruto said to him as they ran. Few days later. You okay man? Cisco asked Barry feeling like he needed to after what happened to him as the last few days Barry was incredibly positive. I guess, I mean I've never felt this positive before it's insane, Barry said. The hell happened in there? Harry asked Naruto as this was kinda terrifying to witness as he saw the look Barry had and to recover this quickly was baffling to him as he qualified in many fields as a doctor. I don't know, I was just there to pick him up, Naruto said not really caring. It's amazing wish I could have seen what the Speed Force did, Caitlin said wondering what kinda technique was used as her analytic mind as a doctor wanted to do what it had done for Barry. The only thing I saw was him in his old house as Speed Force took the form of his mother as they talked, Naruto said not digging deeper into Barry's revelation and coming to term with things as he had no room to judge or question it. What's up with Bar? Joe asked walking in as Barry passed him. Seriously guys don't question it, Naruto said as he could tell they were worried but they had no reason to be. Kinda want a hit of what he's taking, Frost said as she chuckled a little. We just don't want him being overconfident as a little fear is a good thing, Iris said. I think you all should just leave him the F alone as he deserves to feel like this after all the SHT he's been put through, Naruto said to them glaring at him. He once told me he felt trapped in that house on the night his mother died so do me and him a favor and leave it the hell alone, he said to them wondering why they all questioned this as their friend and a person they all considered family was finally well, why are you all questioning this anyway? Did you like him feeling the way he did? He asked them. No, that's not what we're saying at all. Joe said as he was happy Barry was happy he just didn't want him to take anything too lightly with the man they were facing. Drama aside, I had an idea while you all were trying to save Alan, Harry said, pulling up information about Hunter Zolomon's family. Hunter loves mind games, let's play some too, he said. Oh yeah, before the celebration when we still tried to ping this guy, I know where he is, Naruto said as he remembered when he first spotted Jay, and did a search for him. Not bad, but you do know I'm talking about Zooms, right? Harry asked him. Yeah, I know. Naruto said as he read the article Harry had. His parents are alive here, he said, seeing Hunter's father murdered his mother and was executed on Earth 2.5. Are you sure you want to play this kinda game? With him crazed like this, you don't know how this guy's gonna react. Joe said as whenever you back a animal into a corner they'll lash out hard. Yep, Naruto said as when he played high stakes. Do you trust me? He asked them as he thought they were thinking this was a bad plan. 1000%, Harry said as the others nodded. Then let's get to work, Naruto said as he had something to get. Few hours later. What? Naruto said as he saw Barry on the floor with a speed drag dart in him, Iris putting him in a cell. Barry can't fight Zoom, Iris was saying before she was instantly knocked out. Thank God I carry these, Naruto said as he carried smelling salts with him and opened them, waking Barry up, filling him in on what happened. She's banned, dude. Where the F did she even find the F gun, he said as he was sure they had that secured. Well, don't look at me, Barry said to him as this was a huge betrayal to him as he wondered how she could do this. Be glad I talked to the others earlier, otherwise they may have made a decision they would have regretted, Naruto said as Iris was somehow convincing in dire times. Let's kick Zoom's butt, Barry said as he took the lead. Few minutes later. Hey Speed Demon, Barry said as he ran dangerously close to Zoom despite the difference in speed. You're back. Good, then that means I'll feed again, Zoom said demonically. First you'll have to catch me, Barry said, turning at a corner, putting some distance between him and Zoom. Too slow, Zoom said as he was hot on Barry's tail. Barry, even though he's slowing down he's still faster than you, Harry said over the comms as Barry was a bit below 8,500 miles per hour while Zoom was at 9,500 miles per hour, his speed dropping slowly. Then let's see how he likes this. Barry said as he made a sharp turn, and when Zoom did it he tripped and fell. Too slow, he said teasingly, making him growl in frustration. You're pissing me off is all you're doing, Flash, Zoom said. Good, then that means I'm doing my job right, Barry said, laughing before he sped off, making him roar as he followed him into STR Labs and began running around certain rooms. Hunter, a female voice said, causing Zoom to stop, causing him to trip and fall as he looked up and saw his mother, Ashley Zolomon. Mom? Hunter said, removing his mask. Yeah, it's me, Hunter, the woman said. Ashley Zolomon, Naruto said to Barry as they watched closely. Her husband died in prison because he was abusive, but Hunter from here saved her, he said to Barry, giving him some minor details. They watched as Hunter fell to his knees as Ashley held him close to her body, rubbing his head. I love you, my baby boy, Ashley said, then froze as Hunter stabbed her. Hunter looked up at her as tears fell down his face. Family is a weakness, he said in a statement and realization before running out. Ashley suddenly turned into a bunch of nanites as she laid on the ground. Now see, why didn't I use the real lady? Naruto asked Barry as things always got risky using real people. Surprised he did that, he seemed to have genuinely missed and loved her, Barry said as he had a similar look when he talked to the Speed Force. Some people, when they break, they can't be put back together or ever truly want to be fixed. They've come to terms with who they've become, Naruto said to him. Wait, family. Barry was saying before he sped off and came back. He took Wally, he said in urgency. And I want your speed, Flash, Zoom said, thinking he'd buy himself more time with it. Wally, Naruto said, gaining the teen's attention. Remember when you dragged race? Remember the wind on your face with how fast you went? Hold on to it and go, he said loudly. Wally looked at Zoom as yellow lightning began going around his eyes before he got out of his grasp. Go, Naruto and Barry said as they charged and tackled Zoom. More and more speedsters, it's like a buffet, Zoom said as he laughed maniacally. You're not touching him, Barry said firmly. You know, you and me aren't that different, Barry, Hunter said in a normal tone of voice. Yeah, you are, Naruto said to him firmly. We both lost our parents and gained extraordinary powers, Hunter said as he then remembered something on his trips, but you still have your father. Let's see how you'll be without him, he said running off. No. Barry said as he chased after Zoom with Naruto behind him. No, is this happening? Naruto thought in worry. Few minutes later. Gotta time this right, Naruto thought as Zoom had Henry right there with his hand right there behind him. Now let's dash, Zoom was saying before a dark gray hand burst from the wall behind him grabbing his face before pulling him out. The hand was attached to a large gray humanoid hammerhead shark-like creature. Zoom, Hammerhead wants you gone, the shark human said loudly as it bit into Zoom. Zoom quickly used his lightning to let the meta let him go before looking back as the shark human tore a light post out and swung at him using it like a bat. Didn't see that coming, Henry said as Barry walked to him. Let's think about that later, come on, Barry said as he got his father out of there. How many shark metas are there, Naruto thought to himself. Hammerhead grabbed an empty bus before throwing it at Zoom sending it and him through a building. Hey big guy, come on. Naruto said to the shark human as they ran away. Few minutes later. What the hell? Cisco said looking at Hammerhead who sat in the garage as that was the only place where the bigger guys like him could fit. He helped save my dad's life, I owe him one, big time, Barry said grateful the meta helped save his dad. He must have sensed Zoom's lightning in the same way King Shark tracked you, Caitlin said remembering the principle. Any relation to King Shark, Naruto asked him. Caitlin said as they were doing BLD work and a match showed up for Tanya and Shay Lambden. Jeremy? Naruto said to the shark man. It's Jerry now, Hammerhead/Jerry said to him. Dude, how did a 14-year-old kid become that? Cisco asked as that was crazy. I was training, I've swam in lightning storm, typhoons, and maelstrom even the Arctic waters, Hammerhead said. Training for what man? Naruto asked him. Olympics, Jerry said to him. You're 14 and training for the Olympics? Barry said. Don't tell well I'm serious, Naruto said to them all in a deadly serious tone of voice. When the accelerator blast hit me I fell into the Hammerhead tank at my mom's facility, and when I awoke I was like this. So when I finally got control, I started training, preparing for whatever could come at me. Jerry said as he wanted to be a hero but wanted to be in control of his abilities before coming out. It's been 2 years, your mom thinks that you're dead man, why didn't you come back? Naruto asked him curiously as why wait 2 years to come back? I was afraid, there's a beast inside of me that comes out when I fight. I thought that if I stayed, I could have lashed at her, Jerry said. Guess turning into humanoid aquatic animals is a family thing, Cisco said with a chuckle. What? Jerry asked curiously. The dark matter affected your mother in a similar way but instead of a shark she became a orca and then there's your dad's doppelganger King Shark, Naruto said to him and then started explaining the whole Earth 2.5 deal. Few hours later. My baby. Tanya said as she arrived with Shay. We're preparing the cure for him, Naruto said to the woman. Cure? Jerry asked. Don't worry kid, it's less of a cure and more of a way to let you go back from shark to human whenever you want, Naruto said as that was the opted drag in comparison to the full cure. I have a son here, Shay said approaching Jerry as he became King Shark. Whoa, and I thought I was tall, Jerry said as his dad had a whole 2 feet on him. A whole family under the seas, King Shark said as the two shared a laugh. Booyah! Cisco said as he walked in with a green vial. This is what will let you turn back to your human self and if you choose back to Hammerhead whenever you want to. You'll be able to be a hero and have your life back, Naruto said as he handed the vial to Jerry who took it and became smaller and human. Tanya quickly embraced her child as Shay put his arms around the two. I just love reunions, Cisco said with a smile. Suddenly blue lightning rushed in and smacked the parents aside as Zoom grabbed Jerry by the neck and lifted him up. Time for payback, brat, he said as he squeezed the kid's neck. No. Shay said as he turned into King Shark and tackled Zoom. Zoom was saying before King Shark grabbed his face. You aren't going to hurt anyone ever again. King Shark said, biting him in half, spitting him out. Suddenly a portal opened and two time wraiths came out and took the two halves of Zoom's body with them. Few days later. Oh God. Harry said as Jesse was running in the speed lab. You're not the only one, dude, Naruto said as Patty was doing the same. Same, Barry said, watching Wally. I can't believe she has my lightning, Naruto said as he watched Patty run as she had his white lightning. Well, it was your speed force energy we used to save her from Zoom's, remember, Harry said as he remembered the white lightning she momentarily had, and the explosion of dark matter must have reactivated his. Okay, got them clocked. Patty has about 3,000 miles per hour while Jesse and Wally clock around 2,500 miles per hour, Naruto said to them as he suspected them getting hit by Barry's speed may have boosted their energy in the dark matter. And knowing them and us training them, they'll get up to speed in no time, Barry said as he felt like he could be their teacher like Naruto was for him. Not fast enough, Savatar said, remembering Wally's speed. Alchemy, it's time to give Kid Flash a boost from his other self, he said to his puppet. I will MSTR, and the others, MSTR. Alchemy asked him as he kneeled before the armored speedster. They will receive their gifts in due time, my loyal servant, but for now let's start with Kid Flash, Savatar said to him as he needed Wally to be faster. Who should I start with? Alchemy asked. Awaken Edward Claris and send the rival, Savatar said, thinking the mediocre speedster could be of help. Are you sure, MSTR? As the rival was a bit on the uncontrollable side, Alchemy asked him as the rival was completely full of himself and was unlikely to obey. Should he step out of line, you know what we will do, Savatar said as he made a fist. Of course, MSTR, as is your will, Alchemy said to him. And expose him a little longer to the stone, Savatar said as the rival was slow in comparison to the others. And, him my lord, Alchemy asked him curiously. Naruto's gift will come at the end, but for now the others first. Savatar said to him in a neutral tone of voice as he was preparing something to distract Naruto during his time. It will be done. Alchemy said to him as he walked away. Wait, there is one you should go after first, Savatar said as an opportunity presented itself. With Linda. Hey Central City, we've had some craziness with some metas lately, but our heroes have saved us once again. We can rest easy. Each and every one of our heroes has done much for us, protecting us and helping us with whatever they can. They do more than defend us, they speak up and protect us, and I hope when I say this I speak for us all when I say thank you, Linda said in a post she just did, hating her new boss Scott Evans as her old one Eric Larkin retired and Scott was kind of a PP trying to poke holes and nitpick at her and her team, talking about damage they caused and people they failed to save. She honestly wanted to beat him up. I have a feeling a lot more heroes, metas and normal, are going to be coming out of the woodwork after that, Iris said to her. Yeah, Linda said as she was keeping it short as she had some paperwork to finish. So I have paperwork to finish, Iris was saying till Linda interrupted her. I swear, how can someone DRG someone against their will and say it's for their own good, Linda thought as she understood why in a hospital, or if someone was declared dangerous, or even if they needed it to survive or get better, but to take someone's choice away was a disgusting act in her mind, and the fact that Iris was so close to Barry in trying to take away the clarity he had for the first time in a long time was beyond F up. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow, Iris said as she left. Not likely, Linda thought as she got to work before everything seemed to stop until everything was still. Linda Park, my God has chosen you to receive a very special gift. Bask in his grace, Alchemy said, opening a stone box revealing a blue light. What the hell? Linda said as Alchemy blasted her and she was encased in a cocoon. The first of many of the MSTR's friends chosen to receive their gift, Alchemy said as Savatar would be pleased before he left and time started back up. Next day. First Caitlin, now Linda, seems like people we know are getting in these things, Cisco said as they were doing readings on Linda's cocoon for once. Glad Iris called them to get it out of there as she showed up to work early. Should I blast it and let her out? Kim asked as she came as soon as she got the call. No, God no, We don't know what'll happen if we force the thing to open, Naruto said as he didn't want to know what would happen if they just opened it up forcefully, as Linda could have been like a caterpillar in this state, her body basically in a soup of fluids. I feel so powerless, Kim said as she wanted to help her doppelganger but didn't want to kill her in the process. We need to wait and find out what's causing this, Naruto said as he wondered what caused this, and as he touched the cocoon there was a large spark. Yeah, as in the case of caterpillars, she's the caterpillar, and if we open it up, probably soupy guts come out, Cisco said as he didn't want to take the chance at killing Linda if they tried to open it by force. Also, what the hell was that, he asked Naruto. I don't know, Naruto said before the cocoon began to shake a little. Gotta catch them all, Cisco said, making a Pokemon reference, getting dry looks. Sorry, a little humor as I have no idea what's about to happen, he said, backing up a bit. Suddenly the cocoon burst and golden lightning raced around the lab. Take cover, Cisco said as the lightning was going all over the place. Suddenly the lightning stopped in the center of the cortex to show a vibrating Linda, who then slowed down. Naruto said as Linda ran off. The hell is going on with her? Cisco said, confused as to why she was a speedster now. No idea, but we gotta find a way to fix her as she didn't seem like she was all there, Naruto said as he examined the cocoon's remains. What caused this, he thought to himself. STR Labs. Life has officially gone to SHT, people are gaining powers all the place, Linda's off and zipping around trying to understand what's happening to her, and on top of all this I can't find Grodd anywhere, Naruto said as Grodd wasn't seen anywhere. Dude, I swear this is bullshit, Barry said as they were doing scans for Linda. How is she getting just as fast as us, he asked him. She might be going under some metamorphosis, Caitlin said as they still didn't understand the cocoon. Add in the fact she might still have light powers, we're screwed, Cisco said to him. And considering half of us left to join that guy Rip Hunter, we're kinda understaffed, sorta, Barry said as a lot of people left last night. I still think they deserve to go. I mean, what else do they get to do besides very rarely go out to help nowadays? Naruto said as they were understaffed now. True, Barry said as Naruto had a point there. Alright, look for her at places where she would go when stressed, and try to make something that will help her get back to normal, Naruto said. Suddenly an alarm went off. Really now? The meta app goes off now? Cisco said as they didn't need this right now. Who is it? Naruto asked, wondering who it was. Oh, you have got to be kidding me, Cisco said as he showed them the footage showing a streak of red lightning going around inside of a bank. FUNN? Barry asked. No way, robbing a bank is lowbrow for him, Naruto said as FUNN wouldn't come here to come to this time to rob a bank, and then closed his eyes. No negative speed force, not counting me, he said to them. Just as soon as we get rid of Zoom another one shows up, Cisco said as Speedsters were a catch-22. Try to find anything about this guy, I gotta go, Naruto said. Where? Barry asked him curiously. To check up with Cara and Oliver, Naruto said as he needed to catch up with them to see what's going on over there, especially with Cara. Few minutes later in National City. Man, I missed a lot, Naruto said as Cara filled him in on the things that has been going on in National City. Yeah, thankfully I have lots of help, but now there's this Cadmas we have to deal with. Oh, and apparently John isn't the last green Martian, we found another one. Cara was saying before Naruto interrupted her. Mgan Moors I now, Naruto said as he went to the alien bar to get drunk as the booze there were insane. And there's this guy that Cara was saying. Wow, nice upgrade from cave to building, Naruto said as he checked out the new HQ. What's this about a guy? He asked her. Cara led him to a room where she showed a sleeping man on a lab bed, and get this, he came in a Kryptonian pod, she said. He's not, there's a genetic similarity, but he ain't Kryptonian, Naruto said to her. Then what is he? Cara asked him. Didn't Krypton have a sister planet? Naruto asked as he wondered about how those worlds came to be so similar in nature. No, he can't be a Daximite, Cara said. And what's wrong if he is? Naruto asked. Let's just say our planets had issues, Cara said as Krypton and Daxim had an uneasy history. Well, don't start getting racist on me just because he may come from a race you don't like, Naruto said as he knew Cara had some colorful language to say about certain races, mostly Daxim. One race of SLV traders, smugglers, kidnappers, and let's be honest DRGS, Cara said to him as the sister planet of Krypton sucked. So how's Karen and the others settling in? Naruto asked. Shizuka left for this world's Themyscira to see this world's Amazons, the others are okay. Cara said. She'll be back, she's too honorable to just leave when people need help, Naruto said. Lena came back and is taking of LexCorp, Cara said to him. Her mother won't like that or Lex, Naruto said as the mother of Lex Luthor was just as messed up in the head as her son. What's her mother have to do with anything? Cara asked, never hearing much about the Luthor matriarch. It's come up by Lila that we believe that Lillian Luthor may be running Cadmas, Naruto said as he filled Cara in on Cadmas but not the mother as he felt she'd do something rash. Lena would never work with her mother, she's not Lex in any way, Cara said as she actually met the woman and she was the opposite of Lex. Yeah, but I can't believe Lillian managed to recreate Metallo, Naruto said as he saw the news footage of Cara and Clark taking on two people just like Metallo, makes you wonder, what else has she done, he said knowing never to underestimate an enemy. Knowing our luck it'll be something from the past, Cara said. Like someone like the real Hank Henshaw. I don't want to think it but it helps to be prepared for anything, Naruto said as Cadmas proved it's capable of doing anything and that body being one of the few still missing worried him. Hey, do you mind helping out with something? Cara asked him. What? Naruto asked as Cara was usually too proud to ask for help. John keeps claiming that he and Gan are receiving telepathic signals but something's blocking them, Cara said. Meaning Cadmas may have a Martian prisoner, Naruto said as he did not like that one bit. Yeah, and we've been looking into those reports Lila handed you, it's like Cadmas keeps moving their facilities every time we get something to find these people. Cara said. And be careful, Eiling is involved with these people, so be on the lookout for meta-aliens or that kinda CRP, Naruto said to her. Oh, also keep an eye on Lane. Why? Cara asked. Because it is no secret he hates you and Cal, but think about it like this, who better to recruit than a person who's close to someone who's very close to their enemy, Naruto said to her as he wondered why Lane was never recruited before. Yeah, I'm starting to think of going to Lena for help trying to find these people before Cadmas turns them into weapons, Cara said to him as she needed outside help. You can trust her, Cara, you really can. Don't let Lex being her brother cloud yours or anyone else's judgment, Naruto said as Lena has been through that enough already. She's one of your girls, isn't she? Cara asked with a chuckle. Yep, so believe me when I say she can be trusted, Naruto said. Okay, well I'll call if I need any help, say hi to the others for me, Cara said. Yeah, now I gotta go see Mayor Oliver and with his rag guy, sword man, his gangster, and this bad archer guy, Naruto said as Oliver was dealing with a lot right now. Wow, and I thought we had problems, wait, sword guy? Cara asked curiously. We think he's related to Azrael, remember that guy who matched Batman, punch for punch? Naruto said to her, and don't make that face, Cara, you seem to forget your cousin deals with Lex, a man who has no muscle tone and the sun bounces off his DMN head, he said to her. Yeah, love you, Cara said giving him a kiss. Love you too, Naruto said as he sped off. Minutes later in Star City. Just when I thought you didn't have anything else, now metas? Naruto asked as he looked at a hairy ox man and a female wrestler like Catwoman. Curtis is calling them Panda and Wildebeest, they're actually trying to help out, I was thinking of asking them to help as I'm trying to put together a new team, Oliver said. Speaking of which, Nissa had heard about that and wanted to send 2 of her students to you, Naruto said, so how's things with Felicity? Great, I was honest like you told me and it's been going great, I even proposed, Oliver said. Congratulations, Naruto said giving him a pat on the back, so let me look at your recruit list, he said. Rene Ramirez, we're gonna call him Wild Dog, Dinah, Evelyn Sharp, Curtis, Oliver said introducing them all. Okay, everyone, let me fill you in on something, your boss is in but, Naruto said as everyone but Oliver laughed, but he's a good man. Sometimes just try to learn to tolerate all his D-ishness, he said to them. Thanks, they're not exactly part of the team just yet, we're sort of doing a trial run, Oliver said, especially since we're dealing with a rogue archer, Tobias Church and now this rag guy and Azrael Jr., he said. Maybe I could lend a hand, like aren't you trying to start up more hospitals? Yes, and after Amertech CEO agreed to have us protect her from these two, Roy said as he pointed at the rag-covered guy and the guy that looked like Azrael in gold. So if she gets hurt she could hit the mayor's office with a lawsuit, Naruto said as that'd be bad. Hey Haas, how you know this guy anyway? Renee asked looking at Naruto. Hey Naruto, Dinah said to him. Hey and Renee, Naruto said as he sped up and left. Is every person that is a billionaire a hero? Curtis asked in excitement. You know maybe, Oliver said as he struggled to find the right word. Few hours later. Geez, Naruto said as he saw the Ragman and Azrael holding Amertech CEO against a wall. Janet Carroll, you have been judged and found wanting, Ragman said. Put her down, Rag Guy, Wildebeest said as he and Pan entered. Oh great, if they all clash this place could come down, Naruto said as this didn't seem like a good mashup. Oliver showed up in his suit and fired 2 arrows, some of the rags on Ragman came up and smacked it away as Azrael split the other down in the middle with his sword. The 2 turned accidentally knocking down a little girl. Son of A.B., Renee said angrily as he tackled them down just as Oliver was about to use a net arrow. The 2 ran away but not before Renee got a piece of rag in some of Azrael's cape. Get back here, Panda said. No, chase after them and you'll make chaos, Naruto said making them huff before walking away. This'll be fun, he said rescuing the CEO getting her far away and brought the 2 men to the arrow cave and strppd them of their gear. What the? You're not Azrael, Naruto said. No, you're thinking of my father, Michael Lane. I'm Jean-Paul Lane, Jean said to Naruto. And I'm Rory Reagan, Rory said. Okay, let's all have a little Q&A, Oliver said to them. Why did you attack Janet Carroll? Naruto asked. Few hours later in Central City. What do you mean she's burning up? Naruto asked Caitlin. Her photokinesis is building up heat and her body hasn't adjusted to this new change, Caitlin told him as Linda was running crazy. Well, can't you make something to fix her? Naruto asked her. We might be able to dampen her light powers if we bring her somewhere with no light, Caitlin said as Linda absorbed light. Cutting her off might weaken her light. Am I the only one getting a sort of deja vu? Didn't Wally get all vibraty and sped around when his powers first came out, as his body was going crazy? Can't you give her the same stuff you gave him to settle her body back? Cisco asked. Yeah, but her situation is completely different. We don't know how the neural compound could affect her, Naruto said as Wally had a delayed speedster freak out after getting his powers and he whipped up a DRG to calm him down. Geez, besides a cave where else can you go where there's no light? Barry asked. Don't we have a state-of-the-art dark room? Naruto asked Cisco. Oh yeah, we installed that to help Barry with his detective work, Cisco said as some of the CCPD used old-school cameras. Might work if we add some meta dampeners, Caitlin said to him. Cooling her down might work too, Frost said to them. Suddenly Jessie came into the room groaning and holding her side before collapsing. Jessie! Harry said rushing to his daughter's side. Evil Speedster, was too fast, Jessie said. What were you thinking? Harry said as he brought her to the med bay. I was looking for Linda and he got the drop on me, Jessie said as she fainted. Caitlin, take care of her. Cisco, go set up the dark room cause either I find Linda or I find this PSS but Speedster, Naruto said angrily. I'll call Wally and Patty to stay down if this guy is targeting Speedsters, Barry said as he also called Joe and Iris. Good, nobody goes anywhere alone, Naruto said as being alone made them an easier target. Half hour later. Naruto came to a stop in front of his house and saw Linda standing there looking at it. Linda, he said to her as he saw her turn to him and was glowing a white light and had golden lightning dancing around her. Alright, look, I know you're confused, but just come with me, follow my voice, he said to her, or just follow me, come on, see if you can keep up, he said, seeing if he could reach her more competitive nature. He sped off and she followed him. Wow, she's just about as fast as me, Naruto thought, impressed as he saw she was as fast as Barry was now, as Barry was slowly closing the gap between them. What's this, a race and I wasn't invited? A man in a black suit said. How's the girl? Her speed was delicious, he said to Naruto. I feel Jesse's speed in him, he absorbed it and still has it in him. I'm the rival, your rival, Godspeed, rival said. The rival, OSHT, Naruto thought as he recognized that name during his trip to Flashpoint on E1. I am going to make you know pain like you've never felt before, every speedster, every friend that you have, I will take them down until I finally get to you. That's how rivals are, they clash in every way, from targeting allies, to friends, everything. I will crush you and that loser, Flash, rival said before he sped off. Oh, things just got so much worse, Naruto thought. Few minutes later at STR Labs. Will she be okay? Kim asked Naruto about Linda. Yeah, she's in the dark room resting, she just needs to let her body catch up with her changes, Naruto said as he saw rival was moving at 7,000 miles per hour, how's that work, he thought as Barry texted him saying the man got to Wally and that added to Jesse's speed made it in his and Barry's range. I just can't believe that there's another rogue speedster out there, Harry said. He wasn't a speedster, or at least not here, he wasn't supposed to be, Naruto said as Flashpoint really sucked. Please don't say it, Cisco said. He was in Flashpoint, Naruto said as this was all connected to Flashpoint. Dude, no offense but he won you, sounds like a total B, Cisco said to Barry. Yeah, I've told myself that one too many times, Barry said. Okay, we gotta keep Patty here as if he gets her speed, he's definitely going to be in my range. And the thing is, in Flashpoint Edward Claris wasn't even this fast, so he's gotten an upgrade here, Naruto said as this man was stealing speed like there was no tomorrow. Wait, you have the negative speed force, Frankie said, getting their attention. Yeah, Naruto said, wondering what she was getting at. Oh my god, Joe said as he looked at the TV and saw the rival had Minato and Kushina by the throat and will underneath his foot. Come out wherever you are, Godspeed, and bring your little friends too, Flash and your lady, or I will kill these people, rival said on the TV. You can stop him, Frankie said to him. What if he absorbed your negative energy, she said to him. When I tried doing that to Eobard I nearly got sick, Naruto said as that was before he got the negative speed force. Tables have turned, he said with a grin. With alchemy. If those two die my future is in ruin, Savatar said to his minion. I told you MSTR, Claris was too much of a wild card, alchemy said. Take a fragment of the stone and use it on them if need be, Savatar said as if they died Naruto was sure to kill him. That would mean revealing myself and the mission, alchemy said. Yes, then everything would pick up where it needs to, Savatar said. At once, alchemy said as he left. Few minutes later with Naruto. Let them go, Claris, Naruto said as he arrived with Barry. How about I even the score? You took my life from me, so I'll take yours from you. Enough, alchemy said as he arrived and blasted Claris, causing him to let go of Minato and Kushina and get off of Will. What are you, Naruto was saying before alchemy blasted him, then Barry and then Patty, who was hiding to try a sneak attack on Claris as Naruto and Barry distracted him. You're welcome, I just made all of you faster, alchemy said. Why? Patty asked. Because my MSTR told me to, alchemy said. And what do you want? Barry asked. To help those regain what they have lost, to help them achieve their true potential, alchemy said. You traitor, we had a deal. Claris said as he got up. It is you that is the traitor, and will suffer for it, alchemy said before he left. You like speed so much, try mine, Naruto said as he and the rival locked arms, causing Claris to start taking in Naruto's negative speed force energy. Claris felt intense pain as the black lightning coursed through him. No, I won't stop till the score is settled, he thought as he pushed Naruto and stabbed Minato and Kushina with a vibrating hand. No. Naruto said as he rushed to his parents' bleeding sides. No. Alchemy said as he reappeared, this wasn't the deal, you were to target them and only them, not anyone else. The rival makes his own rules, Claris said. Alchemy growled as turned and touched Minato and Kushina with the stone fragment. What are you doing? Barry asked as he something glow in his hands. Saving their lives, Alchemy said as Kushina and Minato were then in a cocoon. It's him, Naruto and Barry thought as he was the one putting people in cocoons. Now kick his butt, old friend, Alchemy said to Naruto before he disappeared. Naruto turned to Claris as white and black lightning danced around his body and he began beating him savagely. Few hours later. Okay, he no longer has speed, Naruto said as he was exhausted as he used the device Harry used to take Zoom's speed from Claris. Why is his lightning red if it's from the speed force, Cisco asked curiously. All speedsters are unique like all colors. Negative speedsters are red because they give into their anger fully and completely as they let it consume them, Naruto said to them. I swear we have a desk full of this SHT, Harry said as with all the time remnants Zoom sent plus Claris they had a lot of speed in bottles. So this alchemy guy is giving back people the power they had in Flashpoint? Caitlin said to him. And then some as Linda wasn't a speedster in Flashpoint only Wally, Naruto said as he was worried for what would happen to Wally. I think I know where when I touched Linda earlier I saw her on another Earth but she was called Lightspeed, Cisco said to them. The irony, Naruto said as have light and speed powers. So it really isn't just Flashpoint he's going to give back people the power they had in other lives from other Earths too? Barry asked him. But why give us reinforcements, Naruto said as Frankie was a wild card for why she was picked but Linda no way. Maybe because he likes you or something. Cisco said as he was listening to the comms and it sounded very weird how Alchemy talked to them. How does he know you anyway? Barry asked him. When I was in the Speed Force I met someone named Savatar, we'd talk and just about every week I'd travel there to talk to him. To let him know I was still his friend, Naruto said to them, but something is off about him he knows certain things and recently he told me he was coming for you Barry, he said to him. Great so like every bad guy we face, Barry said as Zoom was crazy but Thawne was somehow on him, why me or what did I do, he asked Naruto. What if it's something you will do? Naruto said making them all confused, the Speed Force has no fixed time what if Savatar was there later and I was there early in that time space, he said to them. I hate time travel, Barry said as it made more and less sense every time. So you were talking to someone from the future if it weren't for all the time travel BS I'd think that was cool, Cisco said to them. So who is he or will be, Barry asked curiously. I don't know, yet but he has to be someone close as why would he save my parents even if we were friends, Naruto said as that was the deciding factor. Ask him, Frankie said to him. You need to stop spying little miss, Frost said to her. She may be on to something, Naruto said as thanks to her idea he beat Claris. Are you sure or is this one of those time travel BS things that'll come back to bite us? Barry said to him. Well if he's here those rules are kinda thrown out the window giving us wiggle room but to make things more clear he's still in the Speed Force, Naruto said. Just please, don't let it be a evil me. As we already beat up won me enough already, Barry said. Barry there is always an evil doppelganger or timeline version of someone, Naruto said as that was how it was with the universe. Yeah he has dash, Cisco was saying before everything slowed down to a halt as Alchemy entered the room. It's not him, Naruto thought as this was another puppet. I heard you were talking about me, Alchemy said to them as then someone else took his place a man in a metal suit that glowed a blue light. Who are you Savatar? Naruto asked as he always respected the man's privacy till now. Do you think I'll really make it that easy old friend? Savatar said as he chuckled. Are you so sure about that? Barry? Naruto said. You knew the entire time didn't you? From our chats and why I'm target him, that's all you needed to put the puzzle together, Savatar asked. You knew things that I have only told Barry, or someone close to me. You knew all about my experiences as you experienced them when you were him, Naruto said as this was the only thing that made sense. Why are you like this? Barry asked him. Because you all abandoned me, except him, Savatar said looking at Naruto. You're a time remnant aren't you? Naruto asked him. Winner winner, Savatar said as he chuckled. The real me died leaving you behind but everyone cast you out as you weren't me. Barry asked him. Close I was spared when I killed all the time remnants then spared and every one of you saw me as someone disposable because with you around no one saw me as more than a cheap copy, Savatar said as he glared at Barry. Wow, so future us were really douches, Barry said as it was nice to know he wasn't the only potential one. Speak for yourself man everyone is my friend and I have their backs, Naruto said to him. Yes when you appeared in the Speed Force I got to know you better my friend you distracted me from this hell they all put me in. How'd you me us get that sick butt suit? Barry asked getting a look from Naruto, what it's cool, he said as it looked amazing. That is a answer for later, Savatar said. The real you can't be outside of the Speed Force like this for too long, can you? Naruto asked as he felt the Speed Force was reaching out and that this wasn't the real Savatar. Yes as I can only project myself for a few moments and I can only be here via possession so till next we meet or the next time you want to chat, old friend, Savatar said before he disappeared as everything went back to normal speed leaving Alchemy behind. Where am I? Alchemy asked. That is really getting old, Naruto thought as leaving these mind-wiped alchemies was starting to get really old real quick. Few days later. You're what? Naruto asked Harry. I've been here for moral support for Jessie but I don't think she needs me and I want to go home back to Earth 2.5, Harry said to him. But it won't be the same without you, we've gotten so used to you, Naruto said as Harry's been a real part of the team. I know, but I guess you can say I'm starting to feel homesick, Harry said as he's been missing E2.5 lately. Well if you ever need a getaway you got one here Nash, Naruto said jokingly. Besides, it's not like I'm the only Wells out there, there's a whole multiverse of Harrison Wells out there for you, Harry said as he felt they need more than an old grouch like him. Not a bad idea, Naruto said. Hey guys, you gotta see this, Cisco said. What is it? Naruto asked. One of Snart's old crew members just got tossed out of a mirror by some other guy named Sam Scutter, Cisco said as he read them a report. Feeling one more go in you? Naruto asked Harry. Always, Harry said as he was always willing to help them as he did more for them than they could imagine. And Cisco and Caitlin can help you with this multiverse idea of yours, Naruto said. Wait what? Cisco asked curiously. He'll catch you up, Naruto said to him. Later in the cortex. A meta that can travel through mirrors, Harry said sounding impressed as he always wondered about the inverse world. Oh I got this Cisco said trying to think of a name. Mirror MSTR, Harry said with a smirk. Is everyone one-upping me, Cisco said as that was cool. We had a villain named Mirror MSTR back on 2.5, except he used some kind of mirror gun that had some kind of warping tech that changed everything into 2 dimensions, Harry said to them as Naruto and Barry had a cold chill go down their spine. And he's going after anyone that used to be in Snart's crew trying to find him, Barry said. Well only one that isn't presumed dead or AWOL is her, Cisco said pulling up a woman's arrest record named Rosalind Dillon. They've been arrested together and it was said their lovers doubt he'll kill her, Naruto said to them. Says she has the ability to induce crippling vertigo. Harry and Cisco muttered trying to think of a name. Top, like a top. She's the top. That's her name. Top. Amazing. What? You wanna go? Cisco said looking at Harry. Okay. Do you think she can lead us to Scutter? Frost asked curiously. If Joe can get any answers out of her, Naruto said as she was in a meta wing and he and the team couldn't go there in hero suits without drawing attention as Batman complained about it enough. Half an hour later. So you saw Scutter and Dillon leave through a glass window? Naruto asked him. Like I said, he grabbed her hand. They walked to the window, and then poof, they were gone, Joe said. Sounds like he doesn't just do mirrors, it's any reflective surface, Naruto said as he made a call to replace the glass and metals in a cell as he was in charge of this part of the prison. Dude, just imagine like if he made someone cry, he could escape via the reflectiveness of their tear, Cisco said before everyone gave him looks. Sorry, it's just that makes him one dangerous person, I mean traveling through any reflective surface, just wow, he said. And with Dylan she can make us all too whack to take a step with that vertigo power, Jesse said as that sucked. How is he doing that? Joe asked. In normal people talk he's basically making wormholes through any reflective surface, Naruto said. Meaning he isn't gonna be easy to catch, Wally said. Suddenly Cisco's phone pinged. Pings, we got pings, looks like some of your doppelgangers out there cracked your code Harry, Cisco said as Harry sent out a complex cryptogram to his doppelgangers of the multiverse to see who could help them. We'll go take a look, Harry said. 1 hour later. You have some issues dude, Naruto said to him. Yeah, a cowboy, a mime, geez where's all the good Harrison Wells? Harry asked. We only got one left from Earth 19, Caitlin said as they got a video message. He's lying, Naruto and Harry said at the same time. He was sincere at the end about helping us though, Caitlin said as being with Naruto helped her learn when someone lied and was telling the truth. Yeah but my gut is saying no to that guy, Harry said. Yeah but he seemed nice and not evil. And that's a combination of Wells we haven't had thus far, Cisco said. Okay 1, Harry's not that much of a grouch and 2 that was Eobard Thawne not Wells, Naruto said wanting them to understand the difference. I'm just saying, let's give him a shot, besides if he sucks we have you I mean you're as smart as Wells, Cisco said to him. He's got a point there, Caitlin said as Naruto was a genius. Okay fine, we'll give him a trial run, Harry said giving in. Suddenly Cisco's meta app went off. Got M First National, Cisco said. Give Barry a call and tell him to meet me there, Naruto said as he sped off towards the bank. Few minutes later. Naruto arrived with Barry, Jesse and Wally. Patty has paperwork, Naruto said as Patty had that to do. Alright, so we're not gonna let you two leave with all that, Barry said to Scutter and Dylan. That outfit though, Jessie said looking at Dillian as it reminded her of like a 90s or 80s cheerleader outfit. Ah, Godspeed, Flash, Jessie quick, and new guy, Scutter said looking at Wally. Kid Flash, why is that so hard to remember? Wally said as he honestly didn't like it but it suited him. Sorry Scutter but your fun stops here, Naruto said. Oh it's only just begun, with Snart gone there's a new king and queen in this town, Scutter said. I wouldn't be too sure about that, Jessie said. Oh really? Scutter asked before he and Dylan entered a mirror. Follow them, Naruto said as they all saw a shining rift in the mirror almost like a wave. They followed it outside before looking up as it was going up the building before they followed. A few moments later Scutter dropped Dylan off on the roof. Too slow Top, Wally said with a smirk. Top, I like it, because they spin, and spin, and spin, Top said as Wally and Jessie got dizzy before they fell off the roof. Barry and Naruto raced down and caught them and put them on the ground. I can't catch my balance, Jessie said. You're gonna be okay, Naruto said to her. But you won't be, Scutter said as he came out of a mirror behind them and tossed Naruto into it. Good luck getting him out, he said with a laugh as he got Dylan and the two escaped. With Naruto. DMN it, he thought to himself as he looked around. Who's there? A woman's voice asked as it bounced loudly. Naruto answered but got no response. He went to STR Labs and saw Barry's old suit but mirrored his suit now having the reverse flash lightning bolt. I swear, Naruto thought to himself as he looked around and saw the computers were all distorted and it hurt to look at it. I'm assuming this'll be the same even if I run through the multiverse, he thought to himself. Hello? The woman's voice asked again. Where's that coming from? Naruto thought as he got a pen and paper and wrote down where he believed it was coming from. Is somewhere there? The woman's voice asked. Keep talking. I'll follow your voice, Naruto said to whoever was talking loudly and soon heard nothing and wrote down on the piece of paper again on which direction he heard it from. Marco, the woman's voice called out. Polo, Naruto said back as he laughed a little and soon heard nothing. Okay enough, he thought as he ran to where he guessed was the voice's location bringing him to McCulloch Technologies. Oh Lord, he thought as he hated the guy here as he acted like a nice guy but was really an evil person. Hello? A woman said walking out the building. She had very high C-cup melons and a bubbly peach. You're Eva McCulloch, Joseph Carver's missing wife, Naruto said as he went to her gravestone as his parents knew her a while back. You know me? Eva asked in surprise. Everyone else gave up the search, and just presumed you were dead, but I never did. I never would have guessed that you got trapped in a mirror just like Scutter did, Naruto said to her. Who? Eva asked as she had been here for a long time. Sorry, time is different here, it just stopped at one point, she said to him. Apparently, remarkable how you and him occupied this dimension and yet you never met, Naruto said as Scutter was outside city limits and didn't seem to age or look like he had been gone very long. How long have I been here? Eva asked him. At least 2 years to my knowledge, Naruto said as that was when the accelerator went off. And my husband, Eva asked him. Was he a PP when you were with him? Naruto asked as the man seemed to give up after a week when he saw her death anniversary special her husband made for her. A bit, yeah. Why? Eva asked him. He gave up the search after a week, Naruto said to her noticing she had claw marks on her hand. But you know that, don't you? How long have you been awake? He asked her as he knew this place was messing with his senses but not that much. I don't know anymore, Eva said as she cried a little. Look, if we can find the mirror that I was thrown in, then that means that my friends are working on trying to get me out. I can get you out as well, Naruto said as he knew everyone was working hard to get him out. I can't leave, Eva said as she explained her hands burned every time she reached out. You will, because I am not leaving you here to rot, Naruto said to her as he felt small bursts of pain in his short time here, as being a speedster may have rushed the process, but it must have been nothing compared to her time here. Few hours later. Finally, Naruto said as he looked through a frozen mirror and saw the speed lab. It doesn't work, Eva said as her hands burned again. There was someone called that on my Earth, but he used a gun, Naruto thought, remembering what Harry said to him about mirror MSTR on his Earth. Eva, what if the mirror's properties were distorted synthetically instead of powers tech is involved? I had a theory on that years ago, but I couldn't solve the problem. I had to actually make it, Eva said, wiping away her tears. Well, thankfully you're with one of the smartest people on Earth, Naruto said as he ran to Earth 2.5 in the mirror. Earth 2.5. Look at all these jewels, a man dressed in a rather dumb costume said as he just robbed a bank. This is the mirror force on this Earth. Wow, looks like an infinite hall of mirrors, Naruto said as he looked around. What the hell? Godspeed, the man said as he saw what he did to zoom on the videos unleashed. Hello again, Evan McCulloch, Naruto said as he asked Harry for details on this man in the lab. Hey, money's yours, Evan said, very scared for his life. I don't want your money, Naruto said to him plainly. I want your gun, he said. What? Why? Evan was saying before Naruto pushed him out of the mirror taking his gun and saw the man landed in a police station. Few minutes later, back on Earth 1.5. You came back, Eva said as she bawled her eyes out when he left. Like I said, I'm not leaving you here to rot, Naruto said. This is going to help you get home, he said, showing her the gun as he blasted the still frozen mirror. Eva put her hand to it before she fell through the mirror and landed in the real world and began to cry tears of joy. 1 hour later. You what? Eva asked him curiously and in surprise. I asked Singh to look into your husband, only he and us know you're alive, Naruto said as the man had a lot coming, and even though they lied a little they told the truth about her being kidnapped and imprisoned and her husband knowing about it. Eva leapt into his arms, pulling him into a kiss. Thank you, for everything, she said. You're welcome, now I gotta get back to trying to deal with Scutter and Dylan, Naruto said. As Naruto left, Eva looked at her wedding ring and had an incredible idea come to her as she looked at Naruto's mannequin. He's a good man, she thought to herself. Later. Let me out, Scutter said as he couldn't enter the mirror or anything in his cell. Sorry, not gonna do that, Naruto said as he wouldn't be dealing with that idiot for a long time. So he's in there, no way out, Joe asked looking at the cell. The cell is covered from ceiling to floor with anti-reflective materials, he's probably gonna forget what he looks like after a while, Naruto said as the man had a few life sentences. That's good, and the evil lady you pulled out, she's taking back control of her company, Joe said. Would have liked her to stay hidden for a while but I guess this works, Naruto said as he let out a sigh. That's what I said too, so I did some talking and managed to talk her out of doing it, Joe said to him as he was messing with him. Screw you man, Naruto said as they laughed a little. So are you sure she's not like a mirror MSTRS? Joe asked. Well, she was affected virtually the same way Scutter was, so it's possible, Naruto said as she was now stable in this world. I'm just saying with Hartley, Lisa, and some of them gone, I don't want you to be too understaffed on dealing with these metas, Joe said as he was still confused on time travel. Don't worry, we're fine, Naruto said. Later. Guys, I've never vibed through 18 dimensions before, Cisco said as he was trying to make a breach to Earth 19 or 19.5 as they're starting to call all the other Earths .5. Just a little longer, Harry said. Suddenly another Harrison, well wearing a hat and black clothes, jumped through. Greetings, Earthlings, he said in a deep voice before bursting into laughter. I'm sorry I couldn't help myself, he said with a smile. A Wells with a sense of humor, that's new, Caitlin said getting a dry look from Harry. Hey sharpshooter, you are handsome, 19.5 Wells said to Harry. Likewise, Harry said as he liked having his ego stroked. Call me HR, HR said as he and Harry shook hands. What's the R stand for? Naruto asked curiously as he didn't know Wells' middle name. None of your business, Harry said to him. I'll visit, a lot, Jessie said giving her father a hug as Cisco opened a breach he jumped through. I'm starving, you guys have a big belly burger here? HR asked them. Some things never change. Frost said with a chuckle as that was classic Wells. Few days later. So I heard Joe kicked you out, Naruto said to Barry. Yeah, I moved out but it really felt like that, Barry said with a chuckle. Dude, if pay you get a loft or something, Naruto said to him. Trust me, I'm looking at them, I just want it to be nice. I mean we all can't build the perfect dream home, Barry said. And who says you can't? Naruto asked him curiously as he grabbed a nearby paper. Here, try one of these, he said to Barry handing him some circled areas in the paper for places to rent or buy. Few hours later. I can't believe Julian went to Sing to complain, Barry said as he got a notice from Sing. Dude, no offense but he makes a point I'm always on time, how are you not? Naruto asked him. I'm guessing the super speed kinda nullifies it, Barry said as he used his speed whenever he was late as he always had something going on. Well, do better before Julian says something to him getting you fired. Sing likes you but don't think that the rules still don't apply to you at all times, Naruto said to him. Yeah, I get it, I'll fix it, Barry said as he got the memo. Suddenly Naruto got a call from Cisco. What's up? Naruto asked him. 30 hits on the Meta app, Cisco said to him. What are we looking at? Naruto asked as 30 sounded like a lot. Well, nothing really. Every traffic camera in a 10-block radius suddenly went dark and the hits are all over the map, Cisco said. Cameras went dark, Naruto thought as it seemed like another energy-draining meta. Well, there's one other way to see what's going on, Barry said. He and Naruto suited up and sped off. Most of the chatter's coming from the harbor district, Cisco said. The two slid in the street seeing people running and screaming. It's a bad scene man, Barry said as he saw many things going haywire and people running. You guys should be on top of it, what is it? Cisco said to them. A monster, Naruto said as a large multi-eyed, multi-armed monster roared in the streets. I'm not sensing anything, or feeling any vibrations that match its steps, only loud explosions, he thought to himself. Is it just me or is everything just sparking and blowing up? Barry asked. I'm gonna try something, Naruto said as he sped towards the creature and leapt at it, only to go right through it. It's just a hologram, he said to them as he didn't phase. Oh come on, Barry said in annoyance. With Linda. People of Central City, today I want to tell you about a hoax. That monster you've been seeing isn't real, it's a fake. Nothing about it is real. If you see it, be careful, as it makes power fluctuations happen with cars and city wiring, Linda wrote down in a post. I think I know where our little hologram maker is held up at, Naruto said as he looked a map of the city and pointed at the Hamilton building. It never left the radius of this building, he said. Cool, can I be let out in the field again as Lightspeed? Linda said as she hung up her Dr. Light persona and gave it to her doppelganger as she was a speedster. Well, you can control your temperature and you seem alright again, Naruto said as Linda's lost a lot of her powers besides being able to shoot light and turn invisible. You know me and Patty match you to bad. She picked Lady Godspeed for herself, Linda said to him teasingly. Naruto just chuckled as she followed him. Few minutes later, inside the Hamilton building. Put down the controller, kid, your hologram monster playtime is done, Naruto said to him as he stopped Julian from firing his gun. Maybe I should recommend him to Caitlin, he thought as Caitlin was a doctor. You almost killed me, man, you're gonna pay for that one, the kid said to Julian. I don't think so, let's have a little chat, Naruto said as he pulled the kid to a private spot to talk. Few minutes later. Juvie, not bad, Joe said as Naruto was able to get most of the charges dropped for him. He's not some evil supervillain, he's just a kid who got tired of being scared. He just wanted others to feel like he did. He just needed someone to talk to him, so I think when he gets out, he'll be better, Naruto said. How'd he make that hologram monster anyway? Joe asked curiously as to how a kid had the brains to pull something like this off. Apparently the particle accelerator gave him enhanced intelligence, Naruto said as it wasn't by much as he saw a boost in the kid's IQ as it was a little below Felicity's at that age. Well, at least you straightened him out, Joe said as it was good to see that kid learn from this. And if he's looking to do good with his brains when he gets out, I'll be there to put him on the right path, Naruto said as he didn't want to see potential wasted. Yep, well, on to the next one, Joe said with a chuckle. Few days later. You're having dreams of being Kid Flash? Naruto asked Wally as he came to him for help. Yes, and it feels so real, like I lived them, but they're not, Wally said as he was getting memory flashes. Just try and tell us before. Okay, you're a speedster now, no telling what your other self Speed will do, Naruto said to him. They started yesterday, Wally said. Look, the moment you feel something is wrong, just come back to us, okay? Naruto said, getting a nod from Wally. You got it, Wally said to him as he left. Will he be okay? Joe asked him. No clue, no telling what his Flashpoint self will do to him now, Naruto said as this was all unpresented and the only clue they had was alchemy and he was long gone or never truly real as Savatar seemed to always use some poor sap. Well, just keep an eye on him for me, Joe said. I will, Naruto said to him as they had no idea what Flashpoint would do to Wally. As soon as Joe left, Naruto got a text on his phone from Eva, Patty and Linda and was out of there so fast he left a small trail of fire. With the girls. Speed SEC, we're finally gonna drive you mad, Linda said with a grin as she and Patty agreed on this together. And I've moved on from my former husband and I wanted to really thank you for freeing me, Eva said as she showed him her hand. F me like a real man, F me like the naughty wife that needs to be handled by a real man, she said as this was something she wanted as Naruto gave her so much in so little time and it was also payback against her husband. Naruto sped out of his clothes and went over to her and began making out with her as he fondled her melons. While we wait for our turn, Patty said as she and Linda began making out, vibrating their hands as they fondled the other. I need this, Eva said as she looked at Naruto as he got naked and all the pent-up longing she had for being in that world made her look at Naruto like a hungry predator. My husband wasn't even a quarter of this, she thought with a grin as she took it into her mouth. When we ruin your husband in every way, social, publicly, and pretty much any way, you'll get your company back, have your life back, Naruto said as he wanted to give the man hell for what he did to her. Eva smiled against his PP as she got hornier as Naruto was basically going to help her destroy her husband, ex-husband, she thought as she only wore her wedding ring as she wanted to humiliate him further and it was to remind her of a broken promise. With how good you are, I'm surprised he gave up trying to free you so quick, you're F good, Naruto said giving her praise. When we get back my company I want to have long negotiations for it, I want you to have it and me, Eva said as she wanted Naruto. And you'll get me, mirror MSTRS, Naruto said whispering in her ear. I love it, Eva said as she had spent time learning how to manipulate her body and soon learned she could freely enter into her old prison and come back. But what will you do with your crazy bee, she said as Cisco and Caitlin said something about her brain waves going in both directions, which wasn't possible as it was supposed to go only one way, not both, and certainly not two. I'll see if I can break her in, make her mine like you are now, Naruto said to her with a grin. Go ahead, Eva said as she spread her legs open for him. Oh, but I'm leaking down your throat, and covering your face and tips first, Naruto said as he grabbed her head and shoved himself back down her throat. This is it, Eva thought in bliss, as this was the kind of lover she always wanted, one who was rough in the sheets but still a kind man. Naruto grunted as he erupted down her throat before pulling out and painting her face and tips white with his juices. Eva as she felt him on her face. I think I'll like being crazy, she thought as she wanted Naruto to destroy her mind. Are you gonna F my PP now, sweetie, she said, pretending to be his wife, a thought of which she found even hotter. Yes, my dear, Naruto said, catching on to her little game. Just so you know, you and the other girls will be my wives, he said, seeing her pee-pee getting wetter. Sounds like fun, Eva said with a smile. Naruto got between her legs and began rubbing himself against her pee-pee. It's big in size and girth, Eva thought, panting hotly, wondering how'd it feel inside her. As Naruto rubbed himself against her, he began FNDLNG her melons as he ate and loved on them, making her loudly. I want this, Eva thought, as her husband was pathetic in comparison, as it was always missionary with him, nothing else. Eva very loud as Naruto pushed into her PP. God, you are tight, Naruto said to her as she felt as tight as a virgin. I've never had a real man inside me before, Eva said as she out loud. Till now, Naruto said as he began kissing her neck. And forever, Eva thought, as Naruto made her feel things she never experienced and wanted to keep feeling those things. Naruto grabbed her tips again, but this time began making his hands vibrate as he groped them. Eva said, screaming as she let out a fierce orgasm and cried a little. Thank you, she said, letting him know those were tears of joy. You're welcome, Naruto said as he looked her in the eyes. Eva loudly in bliss as she felt him enter her WMB. DMN, look at them go, Linda said. You should be focusing on me, baby Speedster, Patty said as she had more training in her speed than Linda and made her know as she was on top of her, making Linda eat her out. Can you promise me something? Eva asked with tears still coming down her eyes. What? Naruto asked. Promise me you'll keep me and never abandon me, please, Eva said, beggingly, pleading, not wanting to be abandoned and all alone ever again. I will never ever abandon you, Naruto said, as that was what a promise he fully intended to keep, as Eva survived his greatest fear. Eva wrapped her arms and legs around him to bring him closer into her as she wanted him as close as possible. I'm gonna leak. Naruto said. So am I. Eva screamed in bliss. The two shouted as they leaked together. Eva shivered in bliss, feeling the afterglow of her own CLMX and feeling Naruto's seed inside of her. SEC with him is amazing, she thought as she began to kiss him. Naruto slowly pulled out of her, making her let out a whiny as she began to feel his essence leak out of her PP. Give her some time to recuperate, her world had just been shattered after all, Linda said with a sly grin. Yep, you have two speedy heroines that need some attention, Patty said to him as she felt frozen. What, she thought, then noticed Naruto was using the still force. She thought as Naruto got her lying on her back on the bed and got Linda on top of her. Clever BSTRD, Linda thought as Naruto turned the tables on them. Naruto entered Patty's PP first before pulling out and shoving himself into Linda's before going back and forth between the two female speedsters. You cheater, Patty said as Naruto stopped using the still force and was silenced when he pushed Linda's head down, making them kiss. All's fair in love and war, my dear, Naruto said with a smirk. This is one of the many reasons why we love him, he reminds us why he's on top, Linda thought as she kissed Patty, enjoying Naruto her PP. The two squealed and screamed in bliss against the other's lips as Naruto began pounding their asses as well. Linda thought in realization. He's draining our speed, Patty thought as they began slowing down, their minds unable to catch up to Naruto's level of speed. When I leak inside your holes, you two are definitely going to pass out, Naruto said with a big grin on his face. FBSTRD, Patty thought in bliss, as when they thought they could catch up they were immediately slowed down and realized they could never top him. Do it, turn our brains into jelly. Linda thought in bliss as she was loving the treatment. I'm gonna be messed up for life, Eva thought to herself as she watched the performance. Naruto roared loudly as he filled their holes with his juices, causing them to scream in pure bliss into their kiss. We're not done, Eva, he said, leaving two exhausted, panting speedsters. Eva just stared at him and experienced another CLMX just from looking at him and the female speedsters. He was going easy on me, she thought to herself. Eva rolled onto her stomach looking back at him as she shook her peach at him like a dog in heat. No one's touched it, she said, blushing a storm as she knew he was gonna take it and she knew she wanted to give it to him. Naruto got up against her back as he rubbed his PP against her peach as he put his hands over her own. Eva gulped nervously as she felt him begin to prod her peach with his PP. I want it, she said before screaming as he thrusted himself fully into her peach. My peach just might be a gaping hole after this, she thought as Naruto felt bigger in her peach. And I thought your PP was tight, Naruto said as her peach was on a whole other level of tightness. When can we do this again? Eva asked as she knew he had many lovers. Anytime, anywhere, anyplace, Naruto said to her. Eva felt her peach grip around his PP, wondering what that'd be like to be every day like this. I want this, she thought as she realized she was free to do whatever and live however she wanted, and this was how she wanted it, to be Naruto's woman. God DMN, I can barely move. Naruto said, grunting slightly. Eva could barely respond as she felt her mind beginning to shut down from all the pleasure she was feeling. I really going to enjoy loosening you up for me, Naruto said to her. And I'll enjoy every minute of it, Eva said as she and screamed. I can already feel myself about to leak, Naruto said as her tightness was getting to him. Leak inside me then, Naruto, don't hold back, Eva said, screaming in bliss as she felt her peach get stuffed with juices before she blacked out before Naruto grabbed her and Linda and Patty and held them close as they rested. Later with Eva. Eva smirked as she was recording her husband pay for a prosti and laughed a little as she could tell the woman had seemed like she had been around, making her hope her husband caught a violent case of whatever she had. I just need to be patient, she thought to herself as Naruto instructed her to gather evidence of him doing anything illegal that would help ruin his image, and when she saw him get in his car she made sure to get the license plate number so people could run it knowing it was without a doubt him. Few minutes later. Got it? Naruto asked her. Curiously. Yep, what next? Eva asked him. Easy, we're gonna mess with him, Naruto said to her, and also forge a little evidence, he said to her. Forge how? Eva asked as he showed her a tape recorder. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 12. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author pyrohelixdrago on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.